Chapter 2883. The courtyard was huge, and there were dozens of stone statues in the courtyard. There were demons, evil spirits, and even ghosts among the stone statues. They were all terrifying creatures that were lifelike and terrifying. Seeing these monsters, people could not help having their hair stand on end. Lin Feng and the cursed doll also entered the courtyard. They did not choose to rush into the huge tower immediately because this place made their hearts palpitate. "These stone statues look like the guards guarding the huge tower," Lin Feng said. He could not help but frown slightly. He had a feeling that these stone statues were extraordinary and terrifying. The cursed doll said, "Go up and punch them, and we'll know if these stone statues are really strange or not." The cursed doll rushed forward and punched out. Kacha! The stone statue shattered. All the stone statues were destroyed in an instant. After seeing this, the cursed doll said, "Maybe we're overthinking it." Lin Feng nodded and entered the huge tower with the cursed doll. The huge tower was huge, and the first floor was empty. The cultivators who entered the huge tower rushed up. Lin Feng and the cursed doll were not in a hurry to rush up. Instead, they carefully observed a shrine on the first floor. An evil spirit was placed on the shrine on the first floor. This evil spirit had a green face and fangs, and it had 8 arms. It was unknown what kind of monster it was. Lin Feng stepped forward and shattered the evil spirit statue with a punch. However, there was nothing inside. Then, he and the cursed doll went to the second floor. There was also a statue on the second floor. This statue was a monster with 16 heads, and its body was like a python's. The heads were ferocious and ugly, and it was eerie and terrifying. "What kind of monster is this?" Lin Feng frowned. He had a feeling that this creature was extremely evil. They continued to go up and found that there was a stone statue on each floor. This attracted their attention. "This huge tower gives me a feeling of unease," Lin Feng could not help but say. The cursed doll said, "I have the same feeling. We shouldn't stay here for long." Lin Feng also agreed with the cursed doll's suggestion. This place was too dangerous. They could not stay here any longer. If they did, something terrible might happen. Lin Feng and the cursed doll left together. There was still a steady stream of cultivators entering this place. However, they left without looking back. Not long after they left the courtyard. Suddenly, a blood-red mist spread out from the huge tower. It covered the sky and the entire courtyard. At the same time, the cultivators inside must have experienced something terrible, and now they were all suffering from calamities. Blood flowed out of the courtyard, and the entire courtyard seemed to have turned into a living hell in an instant. They wanted to escape, but they couldn't leave the courtyard. The courtyard had been completely sealed. Many people were attracted to the courtyard. When they looked at the courtyard, they all revealed a dignified expression. The courtyard was truly terrifying, causing people to involuntarily feel a chill down their spines. No one knew what kind of terrible things had happened inside. "The courtyard, the huge tower. There must be a big secret," a cultivator said with a bewildered expression. It was as if he wanted to enter and explore it. Not everyone was afraid of it. Some people were confident in their strength. Therefore, they felt that they could enter and explore the secret inside. "Let's go," Lin Feng said. He left with the cursed doll without any reluctance. There might be a big secret, or even a big opportunity inside. However, Lin Feng was not interested in the opportunity inside. That place was too dangerous. Entering it would mean certain death. If Lin Feng had cultivated to the great emperor realm, he would have the confidence to explore it. However, he should try his best to stay away from that dangerous area. Lin Feng and the cursed doll continued to explore deeper. They explored many temples. Then, they found that every temple worshipped the creature with a human body and a crocodile's head. This confirmed their previous guess. There was no need to look at the other temples. Lin Feng and the cursed doll knew that the terrifying creature with a human body and a crocodile's head must be worshipped there. Intense fluctuations came from the depths. It attracted the attention of many people. Then, endless holy light shot into the sky. It seemed like some treasure had appeared. Quick, let's go in and see what kind of treasure has appeared, many cultivators exclaimed. They all rushed into the depths. Lin Feng and the cursed doll also quickly flew into the depths. The fluctuations came from the central temple. There was a huge square around the central temple. It looked like an ancestral hall where people worshipped the heavens and ancestors. Now, there were terrifying fluctuations coming from the central temple. Everyone was shocked. They did not know what was causing such terrifying fluctuations. Some people tried to get close but failed. They were instantly killed by the fluctuations. Therefore, the rest of the people waited patiently. They did not dare to act rashly. Many cultivators came here. She was like the peerless beauty of the fallen angel clan who could charm people to death. There were also the experts Lin Feng saw earlier. There were Underworld Child, Tseng Wanluan, Xing Yuan Dao Gong's Nai, and so on. Lin Feng even saw Guan Yuanzi of the Geomaster lineage. Didn't that guy not come out from the tower? He actually came out alive? Lin Feng looked at Guan Yuanzi in shock. He had thought that Guan Yuanzi had died in the tower. However, it seemed that Guan Yuanzi was still alive and well. So many people had died in there. Yet this guy did not come out early. Instead, he had successfully escaped. This person's means were terrifying. The cursed doll said, "This Guan Yuanzi is very scary. His aura is deep. He hid it very well." Lin Feng nodded. He felt the same way. Guan Yuanzi was definitely not a simple person. So many experts were waiting for the thing in the central temple to appear. However, they did not know what was in the central temple. It was so shocking. Swoosh! At that moment, mysterious balls of light flew out. There were a total of 3 balls of light. Each ball of light was emitting intense fluctuations. No one knew what these 3 balls of light were. However, one could imagine that there were definitely extraordinary treasures in these 3 balls of light. Attack! Many cultivators soared into the sky and flew toward the 3 balls of light. They wanted to snatch them. Terrifying fluctuations swept through the area. Hundreds of cultivators were engaged in a chaotic battle. Underworld Child, Xing Yan Nao, and the others were famous experts. A large number of cultivators surrounded them, preventing them from snatching the 3 treasures. Chapter 2884. You're courting death. Underworld Child, Xing Yuan Dao, Tseng Wanluan, the female cultivator from the fallen angel tribe, Guan Yuanzi, and Gong Zini couldn't help but shout angrily. Although they were powerful, there were many cultivators surrounding them, and they were also extremely powerful. Therefore, it wasn't realistic to kill all the cultivators surrounding them in a short period of time. These famous cultivators often received the same treatment because everyone knew that they were the biggest threat, so many people would join forces to deal with them. Lin Feng's reputation wasn't lower than Underworld Child, Gong Zini, and the others. However, there were too few people who had seen Lin Feng before. Everyone had only heard of his name, but had never seen him before. Therefore, the surrounding cultivators ignored the duo of Lin Feng and the cursed doll. There was a saying in the world of cultivators called pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. It meant that some people were very powerful, but they would use all kinds of methods to hide themselves, or cultivate some divine ability to hide their cultivation level, or use disguise techniques to change their appearance to confuse others. There were all kinds of methods. The goal was very simple, which was to make others unable to recognize them and make others think that they weren't powerful. However, when they really fought, they would show their incomparable strength. Of course, Lin Feng wasn't deliberately pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. He had never hidden himself. Lin Feng was overjoyed when he saw the 6 cultivators being stopped by a few hundred cultivators. The cursed doll was also overjoyed. Even with their cultivation, it wasn't easy to snatch the 3 supreme treasures from the 6 cultivators and so many cultivators. However, the 6 cultivators were stopped by so many cultivators, which gave Lin Feng and the cursed doll an opportunity. The 2 of them quickly rushed towards the 3 supreme treasures. Lin Feng activated his dragon elephant arm and sent a person flying with a punch. He was simply invincible. One cultivator after another was sent flying by Lin Feng. Meanwhile, the cursed doll shot out beams of cursed light. The rays of cursed light swept away many cultivators in front of them. Most of the cultivators were attacking the 6 cultivators, and only a few dozen cultivators went to snatch the 3 supreme treasures. These cultivators would have a hard time stopping Lin Feng and the cursed doll. "Kill these 2! Yi Futian murmured. A cultivator said viciously. The remaining people began to attack Lin Feng and the cursed doll. However, Lin Feng had summoned the Heavenly Mystery Treasure Pagoda. No matter how they attacked, they could not break through the defense of the Heavenly Mystery Treasure Pagoda. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. At this moment, the 3 treasures flew in 3 different directions. Seeing that the 3 treasures were about to escape, Lin Feng's expression suddenly changed. He and the cursed doll quickly tore a gap in the crowd. Then, they quickly separated, each of them locking onto a treasure. Lin Feng quickly rushed over and suppressed the treasure. The cursed doll snatched the other treasure. After obtaining it, they quickly flew into the distance. As for what the 3rd treasure was, Lin Feng didn't care. Let the others fight for it. "Lin Feng, it's you!" When young Master Nye saw Lin Feng, he couldn't help but gnash his teeth. The other 5 cultivators also looked at Lin Feng with gloomy expressions. They were stopped by so many cultivators, and 2 of the 3 treasures were snatched away by Lin Feng and the cursed doll. How could they not be angry? The cultivators who were attacking the 6 cultivators were so angry that their faces turned green. They worked so hard to stop the 6 cultivators, but in the end, it was all for someone else. Just thinking about it made them so depressed that they wanted to vomit blood. "Ha ha ha, the 2 of us will gladly accept the treasures. Farewell," Lin Feng said with a laugh. He and the cursed doll were too fast. They quickly rushed into the distance and disappeared. The others couldn't catch up even if they wanted to. Lin Feng and the cursed doll planned to leave the temple. They chose a direction and flew away. Just as they were about to leave the temple area, something strange happened below the temple. Loud rumbling sounds were constantly heard, and the ground began to collapse. An unimaginably terrifying aura spread out. "After slumbering for billions of years, I'm finally going to wake up." A deep roar came from below the ground. Then, a huge claw reached out from the cracked ground. The claw was over 10,000 meters long. Lin Feng had never seen such a huge claw, and it was just a single claw. How big would the entire body be? Just thinking about it made one's hair stand on end. What kind of monster is this? How could it be so huge? The cursed doll exclaimed. "Crocodile, it's a crocodile!" Lin Feng pointed into the distance in horror. At this moment, a huge crocodile head emerged from the ground. The head was close to 2 meters long. It was too huge. This. Even the cursed doll couldn't speak coherently. The cursed doll was an ancient existence. It could be described as knowledgeable. However, it had never seen such a huge crocodile. The huge crocodile had completely emerged from the ground. At this moment, Lin Feng could finally see how huge the crocodile was. The crocodile's body, from head to tail, was about 170,000 to 180,000 meters long. What kind of concept was that? The crocodile was about 300 to 400 kilometers long. This huge cluster of temples only covered an area of 100 miles in circumference. Once the giant crocodile was born, the temple complex that covered an area of 100 miles was completely destroyed. Now many cultivators were floating in the air, staring at the crocodile with their mouths agape. Could this crocodile be the human-bodied crocodile-headed monster that was worshipped in the temples? What kind of creature is this? Is it a foreign creature? Lin Feng was deeply shocked. He had never even heard of such a huge crocodile, let alone seen one before. Its size was simply too huge. It was simply too shocking. Could it be the legendary crocodile ancestor? Yao Jun could not help but be shocked. Crocodile ancestor? What kind of existence is that? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. This was the first time he had heard of the name crocodile ancestor. If it's really the crocodile ancestor, then it's too terrifying. It said that the crocodile ancestor was an undying creature from the previous era. It's definitely an unimaginably terrifying existence. However, it was said that the crocodile ancestor was killed during the Great War between sentient lifeforms. It shouldn't be alive now. The demon lord couldn't help but be puzzled. Huff, huff, huff. At this moment, the huge crocodile suddenly opened its bloody mouth and inhaled. Instantly, a terrifying devouring power surged out. A huge storm swept up between heaven and earth. Many cultivators lost control of their bodies and flew toward the crocodile ancestor's bloody mouth. Run, run, run! Chapter 2885. Lin Feng and the cursed doll raised their speed to the limit, but a powerful suction force still surged from behind. That powerful suction force enveloped Lin Feng and the cursed doll, and then swallowed them whole. Facing the powerful suction force, Lin Feng hurriedly took out a void shift talisman. This kind of void shift talisman was too precious, so Lin Feng wasn't willing to use it normally. But now that the situation was dangerous, Lin Feng naturally wouldn't be stingy. Good things should be used where they were needed most. Lin Feng crushed the void shift talisman. Swoosh! Lin Feng and the cursed doll instantly disappeared, and when they reappeared, they were already 300 miles away. The two watched the terrifying crocodile wreaking havoc in the world from afar. Many cultivators in the surroundings were dumbfounded, and they stared at the crocodile in disbelief. The crocodile's body was too huge, and anyone who saw it would be deeply shocked. Demon Lord, what kind of existence is this crocodile ancestor you speak of? It shouldn't be a good person, right? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. The Demon Lord said. Of course it's not a good person. The crocodile ancestor is an incomparably evil and terrifying creature. In the past, it caused a lot of trouble, and even killed many sentient lifeforms. At its peak, the crocodile ancestor even hunted sentient lifeforms for food. Heavens, is the crocodile ancestor that terrifying? Lin Feng's heart seemed to have been set off by monstrous waves. The crocodile ancestor that the demon lord spoke of was too powerful. It actually hunted sentient lifeforms for food. What kind of cultivation was that? It said that the first demon lord wanted to kill the crocodile ancestor and fought it, but in the end, he was injured by the crocodile ancestor. The fall of the first demon lord was inextricably linked to the crocodile ancestor. The demon lord continued. Lin Feng took a deep breath. The demon lord's information was too shocking. It could be described as horrifying. What happened to the crocodile ancestor after that? Asked Lin Feng telepathically. The era of the Xiantian War was actually an extremely chaotic era. The Xiantian spirits, the otherworldly spirits, the spirits of the previous epoch, and the newly rising forces all fought for the chance to enter the door of everlasting life and the divine court. In the end, an unprecedented war broke out. To put it bluntly, it was all because of benefits that drove these high and mighty spirits to engage in an unprecedented war. The crocodile ancestor displayed an unimaginable battle prowess in this battle. It is said that the crocodile ancestor was close to entering the gate of everlasting life, but in the end, it was injured by several creatures from the wasteland. The demon lord said. Lin Feng knew that the wasteland was connected to the other world, the heavenly realm, the bound of universe, and even the underworld. It was an extremely special place, and also an extremely terrifying place. In the wasteland, the law of the jungle was played out to the extreme. In that place, only the strong could survive. If the weak entered, only death awaited them. The creatures that came out of the wasteland were definitely unimaginably terrifying existences. The demon lord continued. The crocodile ancestor was injured and fled, but it was said that it was unable to escape in the end. It was surrounded and killed by several sentient spirits. Since then, there has been no news of the crocodile ancestor in this world. Now that the crocodile ancestor has reappeared, it is truly inconceivable. It seems that the crocodile ancestor was not killed back then. But I feel that the crocodile ancestor is far from being as strong as it was in the past, right? Lin Feng said. The current crocodile ancestor was, of course, extremely terrifying, but Lin Feng felt that there was still a huge gap between it and the crocodile ancestor at its peak. At its peak, the crocodile ancestor was a terrifying existence that often hunted sentient spirits for food. When the crocodile ancestor attacked, he and the cursed doll had no chance to escape. But the reality was that he and the cursed doll had managed to escape. I guess that the crocodile ancestor fell into a deep sleep after being injured. Coupled with the passage of time, his body gradually aged, and his cultivation fell greatly. No expert can withstand the erosion of time. Cultivation is like rowing a boat against the current. If you don't advance, you will fall behind. Things like cultivation falling greatly in a deep sleep often happen because sleeping can prolong one's lifespan, but the more you gain, the more you lose in another aspect. After sleeping to prolong one's lifespan, one's strength will inevitably decline greatly, the Demon Lord said. Lin Feng nodded. He could understand this point. We can't stay here for long. Let's go, the cursed doll said. He didn't want to stay here any longer. The birth of the crocodile ancestor made him tremble in fear. Lin Feng and the cursed doll left together. Lin Feng said, "Look at those existences that have lived for tens of thousands of years. They are so powerful the moment they are born. Look at you. You are worlds apart." The cursed doll rolled its eyes and said, "What do you know? You have no idea how terrifying I was in the past. If I hadn't been schemed against, how could I have ended up like this?" "Schemed against by who?" Lin Feng asked in astonishment. "It's better if you don't know. I'm afraid that if I say that person's name, you will be scared to death," the cursed doll said. "Keep bragging." Lin Feng pursed his lips. "I never brag," the cursed doll said. "Then tell me, where did you come from?" Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. The cursed doll had told Lin Feng that it was from the celestial realm. However, Lin Feng didn't really believe the cursed doll's words. This fellow was full of lies. "Do you want to hear the truth or a lie?" The cursed doll looked at Lin Feng with narrowed eyes. "Of course it's the truth. Why else would I ask you?" Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes. "I walked out of the wasteland," the cursed doll said. "Wasteland? You really walked out of the wasteland?" Lin Feng looked at the cursed doll in shock. This wasn't the first time he had heard of the wasteland. Even the Demon Lord hadn't been to that place before. Back then, Great Emperor Lord Grimm had died in the wasteland. One had to know that Great Emperor Lord Grimm was an extremely powerful Great Emperor. The wasteland was simply a graveyard for experts. It was unknown how many peerless experts were buried there. "Of course, there is no need to lie to you," the cursed doll said. "What kind of world is the wasteland?" Lin Feng asked. He was very curious about the rumored wasteland. Hell on earth isn't enough to describe that place, but that place has its own meaning. Moreover, the wasteland didn't appear in this era. It is said that the wasteland has existed for many eras, the cursed doll said. "The wasteland has such a shocking origin?" Lin Feng asked in shock. Chapter 2886. "Does that mean you used to be quite a character in the wasteland?" Lin Feng asked the cursed doll with a smile. The cursed doll said, "Of course. I was a famous powerhouse in the wasteland. Back in the day, I was a great existence that made people pale when they talked about me. Even the overlords of the wasteland had to be polite to me," the cursed doll said arrogantly. Moreover, it sounded as if it was telling the truth. One could not help but think that everything it said was true. However, based on Lin Feng's understanding of the cursed doll's personality, it was hard to believe what it said. Of course, it might be true that the cursed doll came from the wasteland. However, Lin Feng felt that it might not be true that the cursed doll had the strength to make the overlords of the wasteland treat it with respect. If the cursed doll was just a small character in the wasteland back then, Lin Feng firmly believed it. "Since you came from the wasteland, you should know how to get there, right? Tell me the starry sky route to the wasteland," Lin Feng said. "Cough, cough." The cursed doll coughed twice and said, "Many of my memories are missing. I've long forgotten the starry sky route to the wasteland. If I remembered it, how could I have stayed in 9 states? I would have gone to the wasteland a long time ago. Of course, I believe that as my strength gradually recovers, I will remember the starry sky route to the wasteland. When I do, I will tell you! Upon hearing the cursed doll's words, Lin Feng could not help but have the urge to slap this fellow to death. It was not that the cursed doll did not remember. It was more likely that it did not want to talk about it. However, since this fellow did not want to talk about it, Lin Feng would not say anything no matter how much he asked. He could only find an opportunity to ask about the wasteland. Lin Feng and the cursed doll found a secluded cave to cultivate in seclusion. Lin Feng and the cursed baby had each obtained a mysterious treasure, but Lin Feng didn't know what it was. He had also obtained the Eye of Death previously. Lin Feng didn't refine the Eyes of Death either. Thus, Lin Feng planned to go into seclusion for a while and refine the Eye of Death before carefully studying what he had obtained. Lin Feng sat down cross-legged and took out the energy ball. The light outside the energy ball gradually dissipated. An item appeared. After seeing this item, Lin Feng was very surprised. It was actually a crystal ball of light. Inside the crystal ball of light, there was a chaotic color. What is this? Lin Feng couldn't help but frown as he looked at the crystal ball in confusion. This crystal ball was very mysterious and emitted a special aura. Lin Feng tried to invade the crystal ball with his spiritual force, but he discovered that his spiritual force was unable to penetrate the crystal ball. So strange? Lin Feng was even more shocked. Even his spiritual sense couldn't penetrate the crystal ball. This was enough to explain a lot of things. Demon Lord, what do you think? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. The Demon Lord was very knowledgeable, so he might have some understanding of the crystal ball. The Demon Lord carefully observed the crystal ball and said, "This is the first time I've seen this crystal ball. I've never even heard of such a crystal ball before. Look at the chaotic color inside the crystal ball. I wonder if there's something wrapped in this chaos? You can try using the stone sword to split the crystal ball open." The Demon Lord's words weren't wrong. It was a feasible method. However, if the crystal ball was split open, the crystal ball would be completely destroyed. However, Lin Feng couldn't think of any other method for now. Thus, he planned to use the Demon Lord's method to split the crystal ball open and see what was inside. Lin Feng took out the stone sword and placed the crystal ball on the ground. Then, he swung the stone sword at the crystal ball. Clang! The powerful sword slashed at the crystal ball, and a clanging sound could be heard. The stone sword didn't seem to have slashed at the crystal ball. Instead, it seemed to have slashed at a powerful magic treasure. This crystal ball is actually so hard. Lin Feng looked at the crystal ball in shock. Normally, crystals weren't particularly hard and could be easily split open. However, the crystal ball in front of him was different. It was abnormally hard. Its hardness even exceeded Lin Feng's imagination. This was the first time Lin Feng had seen such a hard crystal ball. Thus, he was very surprised. "Try a few more times," the Demon Lord said. Lin Feng nodded and continued to swing the stone sword at the crystal ball. Clang, 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 a series of violent collisions could be heard. The stone sword slashed at the crystal ball again and again. However, the crystal ball was too hard. There was no way to split it open. In the end, Lin Feng had no choice but to give up. The harder it is to split it open, the more it explains a lot of things. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown slightly. The Demon Lord said, "Try to invade it with your divine sense and see if you can succeed." That's all I can do for now. I wonder what kind of shocking secret is hidden in this crystal ball? However, since it's one of the 3 treasures in the central temple where the crocodile ancestor is enshrined, the secret it hides is definitely not simple. Lin Feng said and kept the crystal ball. Ahaha, good stuff, really good stuff. At this moment, the cursed doll let out an excited cry. Lin Feng walked towards the cursed doll and asked, "What good stuff?" He did not manage to see what the cursed doll had obtained because it had already put it away. Obviously, it was guarding against Lin Feng, not wanting to let Lin Feng know what treasure it had obtained. You must have misheard, the cursed doll said. Lin Feng couldn't help but roll his eyes. At this moment, he had the urge to punch the cursed doll to death. This fellow was really lying through its teeth. It had just said that it had obtained something good, but now it was actually denying it. Lin Feng couldn't be bothered with the cursed doll anymore. He found a place to sit cross-legged and took out the Eye of Death. The Demon Lord said, "The Eye of Death can be fused with any eye. After the fusion, the eye will be able to control the Eye of Death's ability." As a great Emperor Realm expert in the past, the Demon Lord knew a lot of things that others didn't. He also had some understanding of the Eye of Death. Lin Feng was very shocked. He didn't expect the Eye of Death to be able to fuse with other eyes. Chapter 2887. Rumor has it that the Eye of Death has the power to deprive others of their life. However, I don't know if this rumor is true, the Demon Lord said. Speaking of the Eye of Death's ability, Lin Feng could not help but be slightly moved. The Eye of Death's ability was simply too heaven-defying. Anyone who heard of it would be shocked. Lin Feng asked in shock, "Does depriving others of their life have anything to do with the power of time?" "No. These are two completely different concepts. The power of time can indeed make a person grow old, but the power of the Eyes of Death is even more overbearing. This is because the Eyes of Death can let a person's lifespan run out in an extremely short period of time, and at the same time, convert the opponent's lost lifespan into one's own. Of course, not all of the lifespan can be converted into one's own. Depending on the degree of control of the Eyes of Death, the amount of lifespan converted will also be different. Rumor has it that at most 50% of the opponent's lifespan can be converted into one's own, the Demon Lord said. 50%? If the opponent has a lifespan of 6 million years, then after using the Eye of Death to kill the opponent, won't the Eye of Death gain 3 million years of lifespan? Lin Feng asked in shock. The Demon Lord nodded. In theory, that is indeed the case. If that's the case, then refining the Eye of Death will grant one an endless lifespan, right? Won't that mean one can obtain eternal life? Lin Feng could not help but ask. The Eye of Death's ability was indeed like granting a cultivator eternal life. It was simply too shocking. The Demon Lord said. Everything has two sides. You should know this very well. Lin Feng could not help but frown slightly. So the Eye of Death also has some negative effects? That's right. The Demon Lord nodded. What kind of negative effects? Lin Feng asked. He was very concerned about this. Lin Feng really wanted to refine the Eye of Death right now. The Eye of Death's ability was heaven-defying. If he did not refine it, it would be a waste of this supreme treasure. Rumor has it that cultivators who refine the Eye of Death will not live for long. Moreover, they will die in a very strange manner, the Demon Lord said. Died in a very strange way? In other words, you'll die for no reason? Lin Feng's expression couldn't help but become serious. The Demon Lord said. It must have been eroded by some kind of power. I'm guessing that it might be some kind of curse power. Curse power? Lin Feng couldn't help but frown slightly. Anyone would be wary of the power of the curse. At that moment, Lin Feng's body was still surrounded by a few strange cursing energies. To be precise, it's the death curse. At this moment, the cursed doll said. The Demon Lord did not appear. Lin Feng and the Demon Lord had been communicating with each other through divine thoughts, but the cursed doll had caught their conversation. Now, he had to think about which eye to refine the Eye of Death into. In addition to his two eyes, Lin Feng also had the Heavenly Demon Snake Eye. The Heavenly Demon Snake Eye also had extraordinary abilities. Lin Feng planned to refine the Eye of Death into the Heavenly Demon Snake Eye. But he immediately gave up on this plan. The Heavenly Demon Snake Eye was originally refined into his glabella. He didn't know if refining the Eye of Death into the Heavenly Demon Snake Eye would cause any rejection. So Lin Feng gave up on this plan. After thinking for a while, Lin Feng decided to refine the Eye of Death into his left eye. Lin Feng began to use the ancient dragonesque elephant art to refine the Eye of Death. The Eye of Death actually turned into mysterious death runes. Those death runes quickly flew towards Lin Feng's left eye. All the death runes merged into Lin Feng's left eye. When Lin Feng activated those runes, his left eye changed from a normal eye to a pair of incomparably demonic eyes. It was a pair of cold eyes, emitting a dark blue light. With a slight blink of those eyes, it was as if the heavens themselves were about to crumble. Chapter 2888. Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked by the power of the Eye of Death. This was definitely a heaven-defying ability. Lin Feng was naturally ecstatic to obtain such an ability. Although the Eye of Death also brought about the Death Curse. But now, it seemed that the Death Curse could weaken other curses, which was a good thing for Lin Feng. Over the next few days, the ancient kingdom of Primal Chaos was very restless because the Primal Chaos Gate had appeared. First, it appeared in the region of the White Fog World. Then, the Primal Chaos Gate rushed out and appeared in front of everyone. In the beginning, not many cultivators knew about the Primal Chaos Gate, but now that the Primal Chaos Gate had taken the initiative to fly out, the number of cultivators who knew about the Primal Chaos Gate had increased greatly. It wasn't just the great emperors who were chasing after the Primal Chaos Gate. Many cultivators also went to chase after the Primal Chaos Gate. Although the world behind the Primal Chaos Gate was full of danger, it still couldn't stop everyone's enthusiasm. The opportunities behind the Primal Chaos Gate were enough to make many people go crazy, and they didn't hesitate to take the risk. Those great emperors couldn't enter the Primal Chaos Gate. I think there's something strange about the Primal Chaos Gate. Perhaps it doesn't mean that one can enter just because they're strong. They need to be blessed by fate in order to enter. Lin Feng couldn't help but say. The cursed doll also agreed with this point. Soon, the news gradually spread that a great emperor had died in the Primal Chaos Gate. This great emperor should be the foreign great emperor that Lin Feng and the cursed doll had met before. The one who released this news was probably another great emperor because only Lin Feng, the cursed doll, and a dozen other great emperors knew about this. The cursed doll said, "It seems like those great emperors are also afraid. Perhaps they feel that someone is threatening their chances of obtaining the Primal Chaos Gate, so they released this news to scare everyone away." Lin Feng said, "It's possible. Although those great emperors are very powerful, there are many people who came from the top forces who went to chase after the Primal Chaos Gate. Even those great emperors don't want to provoke those top forces, so they can't kill all the cultivators who went to chase after the Primal Chaos Gate. Scaring them away is the most effective method." However, the hopes of those great emperors were dashed. More and more cultivators went in search of the Primal Chaos Gate. Nobody was frightened by the words of those great emperors. Heaven-defying opportunities were always like this, accompanied by danger. However, if one had luck, they would be able to survive. Not only would he be able to avert danger, but he would also be able to obtain the opportunities inside. Apart from the incident with the Chaos Door, something else had happened, and that was a large number of cultivators from the various races, extraterrestrial races, and other forces were besieging Lin Feng and the Cursed Doll. These experts were Gong Zhongye, Sengwanluan, the female cultivator from the fallen angel tribe, Xingyuan Nao, and the others. In addition, it was said that Underworld Child, Guan Qingzi, and other experts were also involved. Not long after, the son of the Sky Demon Emperor appeared. He also mobilized his own forces and sent out powerful experts to surround Lin Feng and the Cursed Doll. After that, the various races, extraterrestrial races, and other forces that Lin Feng did not know sent their experts to besiege Lin Feng. Some of them had a grudge against Lin Feng, while others wanted to get a share of the loot. Many of them knew that Lin Feng possessed many powerful mystic skills, treasures, and endless wealth. "I've been implicated by you," the Cursed Doll said. Lin Feng rolled his eyes and said, "What are you talking about? We've always been working together, okay?" Boom! Hundreds of experts suddenly rushed out from the forest and attacked Lin Feng and the Cursed Doll without any warning. As they attacked, they also sent out communication signals to summon their companions. After a bloody battle, Lin Feng and the cursed doll killed most of the people and left quickly. If they were surrounded, the consequences would be unimaginable. Lin Feng, you are a coward. Now I will give you an opportunity. You and I will fight one-on-one. Within 10 attacks, I will be able to take your head. Not long after, the son of the Sky Demon Emperor spoke. The son of the Sky Demon Emperor was provoking Lin Feng, hoping that Lin Feng would show himself quickly. Lin Feng? He's just a lowly human cultivator. If he shows himself, I'll make him kneel and beg for mercy. Xing Yuan now also spoke, his voice full of contempt and disdain. He already knew that Xing Yuanshu had died at Lin Feng's hands, and he had declared that he would kill Lin Feng personally. He's just a human cultivator who's been bragging about. How strong can he be with such a lowly bloodline? He's like a stray dog that doesn't dare to show himself. If he dares to show himself, I'll let him know the difference between us. Another expert appeared. His voice was ice-cold, arrogant, and incomparably unruly. This time, it was an expert from the Hevasik race. The Hevasik race was one of the royal races of the myriad races. This race was very mysterious, but also very powerful. The Hevasik race cultivator who provoked Lin Feng was called Xin Daowen. It was said that when he was born, he held 2 words in his hands. His left hand held the word Dao, while his right hand held the word Wen. That was how he got his name. Lin Feng's threat is too great. Chapter 2889. Seeing the 400 to 500 experts surrounding him, Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. It seemed that he was about to start a massacre. Myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other cultivators from other forces, did they really think that he was easy to bully? Today, he would kill these people until they trembled in fear. He would kill them so much that they would take a detour after hearing his name. Let's attack together and kill this guy! A cultivator shouted. Boom, boom, boom! Then, a dense number of divine abilities blasted towards Lin Feng. When those divine abilities gathered together, the power was simply shocking. After the various attacks gathered together, they turned into a torrent of attacks that flooded towards Lin Feng. Just as Lin Feng was about to be devoured. At this moment, Lin Feng used the Great Banishing Technique. He communicated with a parallel space and banished the divine abilities of hundreds of people into the parallel space. Then, Lin Feng rushed into the crowd. He activated the 5-fold Dracophant arm. Lin Feng had transformed into a human-shaped Tyrannosaurus. With a single punch, he could kill a cultivator. Bang, 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 the sound of violent collisions could be heard. One cultivator after another was sent flying by Lin Feng. Those cultivators' bodies directly exploded and they died on the spot. In close combat, Lin Feng was almost invincible. In just a few dozen breaths of time, Lin Feng used an iron fist to kill more than 30 cultivators. Oh my god, that's too savage! The spectating cultivators were dumbfounded as they watched the battle unfold. It was simply a one-sided battle. Although there were as many as 400 to 500 cultivators from the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other forces, Lin Feng was killing them in an extremely sorry state. Quickly retreat and suppress him with your magic power. Use divine abilities to deal with him. A cultivator shouted and quickly distanced himself from Lin Feng. These people continued to use powerful divine abilities. All kinds of divine abilities gathered and blasted towards Lin Feng again. This time, the cultivators who attacked Lin Feng changed their attack method. In the previous attack, their divine abilities gathered together and turned into a torrent of attacks. Naturally, their power was greatly increased, but they were all banished by Lin Feng's Great Banishing Technique. This time, however, their attacks were very scattered. They were like meteors falling towards Lin Feng. Therefore, it was very difficult for Lin Feng to banish so many divine abilities with the Great Banishing Technique. Facing so many divine abilities, Lin Feng used the 3 layers of Haki that he controlled. Epical Haki, White Tiger Haki, and Supremacy Haki stacked together to form a powerful magnetic field. When the numerous super skills came crashing down, they were all shrouded by the magnetic field. And then those attacks. Hockey, hockey, hockey. Hockey, hockey, hockey. Hockey, 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 hockey. Not only did he resist the divine abilities of hundreds of people, but he also easily broke through their divine abilities. The cultivators who were watching the battle from the sidelines were shocked. They couldn't believe their eyes. The reason for that was because what was happening before their eyes was simply too shocking. It was simply too inconceivable. How is this possible? The cultivators who surrounded Lin Feng were also stunned. They looked as if they had seen a ghost. However, no matter how much they didn't want to believe what they were seeing, everything that happened in front of them was real. Sensing the dangerous aura, the cultivators wanted to quickly retreat. However, it was already too late for them to do so. Lin Feng's magnetic field kept expanding and enveloped everyone. As his cultivation increased, the magnetic field created by the 3 layers of hockey could cover a radius of 1,000 meters. Now, the magnetic field was many times stronger than before. Hockey attacks were indiscriminate. This was one of the most terrifying characteristics of hockey. Any cultivator who was enveloped by the hockey would suffer the same attack. There was no difference. The magnetic field was a special domain formed by the hockey. It had the same effect as the hockey, but its power was equivalent to the power of 3 hockey. Therefore, the magnetic field also attacked indiscriminately. I can't move my body. After being enveloped by the magnetic field, many cultivators screamed in horror. Their bodies became difficult to move. It was as if they had fallen into a swamp. The stronger cultivators could still move their bodies. However, their movements were extremely slow. At that moment, Lin Feng moved. Like a grim reaper, he waved his right hand repeatedly. Sword Chi cut through the void and slashed at the surrounding cultivators. Pooh! 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 The sound of flesh tearing could be heard. Everyone saw it. The cultivators who were enveloped by Lin Feng's magnetic field were torn to pieces by the sword Chi slashed out by Lin Feng. They died on the spot. No, 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 spare our lives, spare us, we will never dare to be your enemy again. Many cultivators screamed in horror. No one could be calm in the face of death. However, Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He had no intention of letting these people go. Pooh! 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 The sound of flesh tearing mixed with the terrified screams of the cultivators. It was like the sound of death from hell. A large number of cultivators were killed directly. Not long after, this group of cultivators died tragically. A total of 400 to 500 people were killed by Lin Feng alone. The ground was full of broken limbs. Many people around couldn't help but be deeply shocked. Wasn't this too terrifying? One person killed 400 to 500 experts from the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces. Lin Feng was like an Azura demon king who walked out of Azura hell. After killing 400 to 500 people, he soared into the sky and disappeared from everyone's sight. This person is really peerless and terrifying. If the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces want to kill this person, they will definitely pay an extremely heavy price. These cultivators discussed one after another. Soon, the news that Lin Feng had killed 400 to 500 experts from the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces quickly spread. It caused a huge sensation. And among the cultivators of the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces, it caused quite a bit of panic. Lin Feng was so terrifying. If they went to kill Lin Feng, wouldn't they also die? But soon a voice was heard. Although there are many experts among the cultivators who surrounded Lin Feng, there are no top experts. If there are top experts, Lin Feng will definitely die. Chapter 2890. Qin Daowen was born with the word Dao in his hands. His talent was so strong that people couldn't help but be moved. Qin Daowen was definitely a terrifying existence who possessed a battle prowess that would cause one's countenance to change. Now, he had provoked Lin Feng again, wanting to lure Lin Feng out. Qin Daowen's contempt and provocation towards Lin Feng made the originally panicking myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign cultivators become confident again. Our three sides have many heaven-defying existences, such as Qin Daowen, Gong Zong Ye, Xing Yuan Ao, and so on. If these existences make a move, Lin Feng will definitely die. That's right. What's there to be afraid of a mere Lin Feng? Now, we only need to think of a way to trap Lin Feng when he appears and then summon these top experts. At that time, Lin Feng will definitely die. With our strength, trapping Lin Feng is definitely not a problem. The myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign cultivators began to discuss ways to deal with Lin Feng. Blood Demon Slope. Rumor had it that an extremely powerful blood demon had fallen here in the past. Now, Lin Feng was resting in the Blood Demon Slope. Waves of violent fluctuations came from the depths of the Blood Demon Slope. Lin Feng was surprised. He continued walking towards the depths of the Blood Demon Hill. That was a dangerous place. Very few people dared to go there. But at that moment, the qi coming from the Blood Demon Hill was extremely strong. Could it be that there was something inside? Lin Feng planned to explore carefully. As he went deeper, the demonic fog of the Blood Demon Slope became denser. Roar! A low roar came out, and evil spirits pounced towards Lin Feng. These evil spirits were ferocious, and their auras were evil. Their combat strength was extremely shocking. Gui Er, come out! Lin Feng transmitted his voice to the two Ghost Emperors. Gui De and Gui Er were the names that Lin Feng gave to the two Ghost Emperors. The two Ghost Emperors were very dissatisfied with this name, but their protests were ignored by Lin Feng. After the two Ghost Emperors came out, they stuck out their scarlet tongues and quickly pounced on the surrounding ghosts. The two Ghost Emperors could increase their cultivation by devouring these ghosts. A large number of ghosts were devoured by the two Ghost Emperors. Lin Feng walked all the way to the depths. He saw a blood pool in the deepest place. He. Lin Feng looked over and saw a shriveled cultivator. It was an old woman with dry skin, as rough as tree bark. When Lin Feng saw the old woman, he couldn't help but be surprised. She was definitely a terrifying cultivator, but Lin Feng had the impression that she wasn't a ghost. "Kid, what are you doing here?" said the old woman, looking at Lin Feng in an evil way. "Senior." Lin Feng cupped his fists. The old woman sized up Lin Feng's body. She looked like a hunter looking at a large number of prey. "This is not a place you should be." Lin Feng's heart trembled when he saw the old woman's expression. He didn't dare to stay any longer. He cupped his fists and said, "This junior will take his leave." Lin Feng then put away the two Ghost Emperors. He didn't dare to stay any longer and quickly left. What a terrifying existence. She looks even scarier than an evil ghost. But her aura is very strange. She doesn't seem like an undead ghost. Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. He didn't dare to stay any longer. Although Lin Feng was curious about what the old woman was doing, he didn't dare to ask about it. He quickly left the place. "Lin Feng, where are you? Do you only know how to be a coward? Hurry up and come out. This young master wants to kill you to prove his Tao." Qin Daowen's voice was indifferent. He was patrolling the chaotic ancient kingdom, searching for Lin Feng's whereabouts. Many people were paying attention to this matter. Qin Daowen was very powerful. Now that he had killed Lin Feng, he had consolidated his Tao fruit. If he really succeeded, Qin Daowen would probably be able to create an invincible heart. "Lin Feng, do you know that my clan raised many humans in captivity back then? Those humans couldn't even be called slaves. They were even worse than livestock. You humans have a lowly bloodline. You are no exception. I will wait for your arrival at the Heaven Vein Peak. If you come, I will trample you under my feet and let you face the gap between us." Qin Daowen's voice was indifferent. He was incomparably arrogant, and was full of contempt and disdain for Lin Feng. He had been using words to mock Lin Feng. Now, not only was he mocking Lin Feng, but he was also full of ridicule and contempt for the human race. This person is really hateful to the extreme. There were many human cultivators in the chaotic ancient kingdom. They were all filled with righteous indignation and killing intent. They wanted nothing more than to cut Qin Dawen into 1,000 pieces. However, Qin Dawen was really too powerful. Ordinary people would only be sending themselves to their deaths if they went. Many cultivators gathered around the Heaven Vein Peak because Qin Dawen stood at the top of the main peak of the Heaven Vein Peak. He was waiting for Lin Feng to arrive. This Lin Feng will definitely not come because he knows that coming is equivalent to death. A cultivator from the 10,000 races sneered. He was extremely confident in Qin Dawen's strength. How laughable. This battle hasn't started yet. It's not certain who will win. That's right. Lin Feng's cultivation and talent are not inferior to Qin Dawen's. If Lin Feng comes, Qin Dawen will definitely die. The human cultivators began to counterattack. Lowly human, are you qualified to talk to us? The cultivators of the 10,000 races had indifferent expressions as they mocked. The human cultivators were filled with righteous indignation, but in the end, they had no choice but to restrain themselves. If they really fought, the human cultivators would definitely suffer a great loss. They would not be able to compete with the cultivators of the 10,000 races at all. There were too few experts on the human side. Boom! A terrifying fluctuation came from afar. A cultivator walked over. This was a young cultivator wearing a white robe. Black hair draped over his shoulders. His eyes were like stars, and his face was like jade. It was as if a young divine king had stepped through the void. Lin Feng, it's Lin Feng. Someone exclaimed. Lin Feng had really come. This brat actually came here recklessly. There's a good show to watch now. Let's see how he dies later. Hee hee, I'm looking forward to seeing how Qin Dawen will torture this brat to death. The cultivators of the 10,000 races, the extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces discussed. Lin Feng is here. Lin Feng will definitely win this battle. The human cultivators, on the other hand, were excited. They had an inexplicable trust in Lin Feng. This trust came from Lin Feng defeating powerful enemies time and time again. Are you that Qin Dawen? Lin Feng looked at Qin Dawen indifferently. He deliberately stood high in the sky and looked down at Qin Dawen with disdain and contempt. Anyone could see that Lin Feng looked down on Qin Dawen. Qin Dawen had been provoking Lin Feng. In his words, he humiliated and despised Lin Feng. Now, Lin Feng stood high in the sky and stepped on Qin Dawen. He was full of contempt, and contempt for Qin Dawen. He was using practical actions to respond to him. Get down here! Chapter 2891. Qin Dawen's punch was heavy and powerful. It condensed into a huge fist aura that blasted towards Lin Feng. I'll stomp you to death! Lin Feng sneered. He stood in the air and stomped towards Qin Dawen. Lin Feng's right leg instantly became as huge as a mountain. It instantly crushed Qin Dawen's fist aura and then stomped towards Qin Dawen. Qin Dawen was shocked and hurriedly rushed into the distance to avoid Lin Feng's stomp. However, at that moment, Lin Feng raised his right leg and kicked at Qin Dawen. Qin Dawen was unable to dodge the kick and had no choice but to block it. Boom! Lin Feng's kick landed on Qin Dawen's body and sent him flying. Qin Dawen's face turned red and he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Lin Feng, on the other hand, turned into a shadow and rushed in front of Qin Dawen like an eagle. He immediately activated the five-fold arms of the dragon and elephant and blasted towards Qin Dawen. You have a death wish! Qin Dawen's eyes flashed with a ghastly look. Dense, fiery red scales appeared on his body. Primordial fire salamander scales! Many people cried out in surprise after seeing those scales. The scales that appeared on Qin Dawen's body had a long history. They were the scales of a ferocious beast called a fire salamander from the primordial era. It was rumored that the fire salamander even hunted dragons for food. From this, one could see how terrifying the creature was. Qin Dawen had obtained an opportunity when he was young and had refined the blood essence of a primordial fire salamander. As such, his bloodline possessed a portion of the primordial fire salamander's abilities. When the bloodline was activated, his body would be covered with the primordial fire salamander's scales. The defensive power of the scales would be greatly increased. After the bloodline of the primordial fire salamander was activated, Qin Daowen's physical strength would be greatly increased. Therefore, Qin Daowen's current physical body was extremely terrifying. Suppressing Qin Daowen with physical body was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Therefore, when he saw that Lin Feng actually wanted to engage in close combat with him, Qin Daowen's face immediately revealed a look of contempt. He felt that Lin Feng was completely seeking his own death. Qin Daowen has activated the primordial fire lizard bloodline, and now his body is covered in primordial fire lizard scales. At the same time, his strength has increased crazily. The current Qin Daowen has an unparalleled physical body. Lin Feng is dead for sure. A cultivator from the myriad races sneered. Then someone said, "That's not necessarily true. It's said that Lin Feng's body is extremely powerful. Therefore, he likes to engage in close combat with others. In close combat, there's no time to circulate magic power to activate divine abilities. It's completely a battle of physical strength and physical defense. Therefore, this Lin Feng can't be underestimated. That's because you don't know how strong Qin Daowen's physical body is. That's why you think Lin Feng's physical body is tyrannical." Previously, Qin Daowen activated his primordial fire lizard bloodline and then engaged in close combat with a great emperor-level expert to test his physical body. The result was actually a draw. At that moment, a cultivator said, "So powerful? Qin Daowen's physical body can compete with a great emperor's?" Many people couldn't help but exclaim. A great emperor was a lofty existence, like an immortal ruler looking down on the common people of the world. However, Qin Daowen's physical body was actually this powerful. It was truly shocking. Now that they knew that Qin Daowen's physical body was so powerful, more and more people were filled with confidence in him. The cultivators of the 9 states frowned slightly. The cultivators who were originally full of confidence in Lin Feng didn't seem to have as much confidence as before. This was because Qin Daowen's physical body was comparable to a great emperor's. It was simply too powerful. Bang! At that moment, Lin Feng and Qin Daowen fiercely collided. Everyone saw it. Lin Feng didn't move at all, but Qin Daowen was actually sent flying by Lin Feng's punch. The cultivators of the myriad races, extraterritorial races, and other foreign forces who were originally full of confidence in Qin Daowen's physical body suddenly became incoherent. Qin Daowen's physical body was so powerful, but now, he couldn't even block a punch from Lin Feng. It was simply too inconceivable. Lin Feng quickly charged toward Qin Daowen and continued to punch at him. Qin Daowen's physical body was indeed comparable to a god emperor's physical body. However, Lin Feng's physical body was comparable to an immortal emperor's physical body. Without using the Dracophan arm, the physical strength and defense of his physical body were comparable to an immortal emperor's. The most important thing was, when Lin Feng used the Dracophan arm, his physical strength would increase crazily. Not to mention an immortal emperor, even the most powerful great emperor. In terms of physical strength, they wouldn't dare say that they could contend with Lin Feng's Dracophan arm. Moreover, Lin Feng was now using 5 times the strength of the Dracophan arm. It was even more powerful. The current Lin Feng. He had simply transformed into an immortal god fiend. All the cultivators of the 9 prefectures were amazed. They were extremely impressed with Lin Feng. As humans, their physical bodies were at a disadvantage. The human race's true advantage was their comprehension of the Great Tao. However, Lin Feng had turned the human race's biggest disadvantage into his own advantage. Lin Feng was terrifying in this aspect. Lin Feng once again charged in front of Qin Daowen and said coldly, "You keep saying that you look down on humans. So this is your strength? Are you raising your hands to slap your own mouth? How laughable!" As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Feng launched a frenzied attack on Qin Daowen. Punch after punch, he attacked Qin Daowen. Lin Feng's punches were too fast. As fast as lightning. It was so fast that it dazzled people. It was so fast that it was unbelievable and shocking. And Qin Daowen could only passively endure Lin Feng's attacks. Bang, 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 the two sides continuously bombarded each other dozens of times. Every time, it was powerful and heavy. The loud sound shook the sky, as if two huge mountains had collided. Crack, crack! The sound of bones cracking was constantly heard. Everyone saw that the scales on Qin Daowen, who was fighting Lin Feng, kept falling off. Both of his arms had been broken by Lin Feng. His body had also taken many punches from Lin Feng. Many of the bones in his body had been broken by Lin Feng's punches. Qin Daowen had suffered extremely serious injuries from the collision of their physical bodies. Weak. You're really too weak. A character like you dares to provoke me? You're simply overestimating yourself. Lin Feng's arrogant and domineering voice could not help but be heard. At this moment, no one refuted Lin Feng. Lin Feng was incomparably arrogant. However, Lin Feng had the strength to do so. Qin Daowen was simply mad with hatred. He did not expect Lin Feng's physical body to be so tyrannical. Moreover, he was firmly suppressing him. Qin Daowen knew that if this continued, he would undoubtedly die. Even Lin Feng's life was under Qin Daowen's control. Lin Feng used the demon ancestor's sacred fist to block Qin Daowen's attack. Bang! The two sides collided again. This time, Lin Feng's demon ancestor's sacred fist was actually sent flying by the beam of light that shot out from Qin Daowen's palms. Lin Feng felt the blood and qi in his body roiling. His entire body was in extreme pain. Qin Daowen could borrow the power of the heavenly Dao to fight his enemies through the two Dao characters. This was the most terrifying part. This method could be called invincible. The cultivators of the myriad races, the extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces cried out in alarm. They felt that Lin Feng would definitely die this time. No one could withstand Qin Daowen's attack. Let's see how long you can last! Qin Daowen's voice was extremely cold as he quickly charged towards Lin Feng. He still used the same attack as before. Two terrifying beams of light shot out from his palms. The two terrifying beams of light merged into one and blasted towards Lin Feng. This should be Qin Daowen's trump card. He used the two Dao characters to summon the power of the heavenly Dao to strengthen himself. Facing Qin Daowen's attack, Lin Feng used the 72 transformations to quickly deduce the method to use this divine ability. When Qin Daowen's attack was about to hit Lin Feng actually used the same move. He also raised his hands, and two Dao characters appeared in his palms. One of them was Dao, and the other was Wen. Chapter 2893. Heavens! Lin Feng actually used the same divine ability as Qin Daowen. Is he also born with the word Dao in his hand? Many people couldn't help but exclaim when they saw Lin Feng neutralize Qin Daowen's attack using the same method as Qin Daowen. It was like a dream, but it actually happened before their eyes. Everyone couldn't help but feel shocked. The same ability. They are both people who inherit the fortune of heaven and earth. Qin Daowen is probably in danger now, an alien cultivator said with a gloomy expression. Looks like you guys haven't heard about it. I thought it was just a rumor, but it seems like it's true, another alien cultivator said. What is it? Everyone looked at the alien cultivator with puzzled expressions. Not long ago, Lin Feng killed the Qinhua people's expert, Jin Xianzhao. At that time, Lin Feng used one of Jin Xuanzhao's top divine abilities to kill him. At that time, everyone thought that Lin Feng had learned the Qinhua people's top divine ability by chance, so they didn't think too much about it. However, it seems like that isn't the case. He first used Jin Xuanzhao's top divine ability, and now, he used Qin Daowen's top divine ability. What do you guys think? The extraterrestrial cultivator looked at the surrounding cultivators and asked. It means that Lin Feng possesses an extremely terrifying ability. He can copy other people's divine abilities and make them his own. someone said in disbelief. That's right. That's more or less the case, the alien cultivator said. 72 transformations. Rumor has it that the 72 transformations can deduce other people's divine abilities, a myriad races cultivator said. That's the legacy of the great sage, heaven's equal. No wonder Lin Feng is so heaven-defying. Did he obtain the legacy of the great sage, heaven's equal? Many fervent gazes looked at Lin Feng, greed and killing intent flashing in their eyes. The great sage, heaven's equal, was one of the most powerful existences in history. If one could obtain the legacy of the great sage, heaven's equal, it would definitely be an extremely heaven-defying thing. From then on, one would definitely have a meteoric rise and soar into the sky. The disappearance of the great sage, heaven's equal, was simply too bizarre. For countless years, no one had been able to obtain the legacy of the great sage, heaven's equal. And now, Lin Feng had actually obtained the legacy of the great sage, heaven's equal. This was truly a shocking thing. Right now, many cultivators from various races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces wanted to kill Lin Feng and seize the legacy in Lin Feng's body. However, when they recalled how formidable Lin Feng was, they gave up on that idea. Lin Feng was too strong. If they really attacked, they would be the ones to die, not Lin Feng. Whoosh! At this moment, Qin Daowen turned around and fled into the distance. When Qin Daowen saw Lin Feng use the same move to break his attack, he no longer had the courage to fight Lin Feng. Qin Daowen was very unwilling to admit this, but the truth was right in front of him. He had no choice but to admit it. Right now, the most important thing was not to save face, but to escape as soon as possible. This was because Qin Daowen could feel Lin Feng's killing intent towards him. Earlier, you provoked me time and time again with your superior attitude. You really made me think that you were invincible. How did you become a stray dog now? Lin Feng quickly chased after Qin Daowen. His voice was indifferent and filled with cold, killing intent. I admit that your ability to duplicate divine abilities is terrifying, but it's not without flaws. Although it's powerful, it can't unleash 100% of its combat strength. If I hadn't been misled by you and suffered injuries to my physical body, causing my combat strength to plummet, I wouldn't have lost to you today, Qin Daowen said with a gloomy expression. He didn't want to admit his defeat and was still looking for an excuse for it. Lin Feng sneered and said, You really think too highly of yourself. The attack I derived from this divine ability is almost the same as the attack you used. You're just asking to be humiliated here. Besides, isn't a battle of physical bodies still a battle? When did I mislead you? You're looking for excuses for your defeat after being defeated. Only someone with a dark and weak heart like you can come up with such an excuse. But no matter what excuse you come up with, it's useless. Today, you'll definitely die. No one can save you. You want to kill me? You're still far from capable. At this moment, Qin Daowen sneered and took out a jade talisman. Void Travel Talisman. If Qin Daowen broke the empty space talisman, then Lin Feng wouldn't be able to catch up with him. Edited by RED. This was because Lin Feng didn't know where he would travel to. A great Emperor-level expert could lock on to Qin Daowen's figure 300 miles away. However, Lin Feng couldn't do that. 1 Qi into 3 pure ones. 9 layers of hockey superimposed. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He used the 1 Qi into 3 pure ones technique and split himself into 3. Then, Lin Feng and his original body activated 3 layers of hockey at the same time. The magnetic field formed by the superimposed 9 layers of hockey directly imprisoned the void. Such a powerful magnetic field was a little similar to the space freeze used by the Great Rock King. It caused the space of a world to fall into a state of stillness, including all living creatures in this space. Of course, unlike space freeze, Lin Feng's magnetic field was an extremely domineering aura suppression. It didn't really cause space to fall into a state of stillness. Qin Daowen crushed the void teleportation talisman, but he couldn't be teleported out. The magnetic field formed by the 9 layers of hockey was too powerful. The void teleportation talisman that Qin Daowen crushed couldn't break through the magnetic field. Therefore, Qin Daowen was trapped in the magnetic field that Lin Feng had condensed. Lin Feng quickly rushed over and punched at Qin Daowen. Qin Daowen, who was enveloped by the magnetic field, found it difficult to move his body, let alone fight against Lin Feng. He punched out to block Lin Feng's attack, but he was directly sent flying by Lin Feng. He couldn't help but vomit blood in midair. After seeing this scene, everyone knew that Qin Daowen's only path was likely to be death. Swoosh! Lin Feng quickly rushed in front of Qin Daowen and slashed out a sword aura. The dazzling sword aura slashed toward Qin Daowen. No! Qin Daowen screamed in horror. He felt the aura of death enveloping his body. Qin Daowen didn't want to die. However, Lin Feng wouldn't pity this person. Until now. No one could save Qin Daowen. Pfft! With a tearing sound, Qin Daowen's head was directly chopped off by Lin Feng. Everyone looked at this scene in shock. Chapter 2894. Lin Feng stood in the void with his black hair draped over his shoulders like an immortal god-fiend. He stood there as if he had become the ruler of heaven and earth. Everyone's heart was abnormally shaken. Such a scene seemed to be eternally imprinted in their minds. Qin Daowen was considered a top genius among the myriad races. But now, he was actually killed by Lin Feng. This would definitely cause a huge commotion. If anyone wants to die, you can continue to provoke me. I don't mind starting a massacre. Myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and cultivators from other foreign forces can all come and challenge me. When the time comes, I'll cut off their heads. Lin Feng's voice was indifferent, filled with cold killing intent. He quickly flew into the distance at lightning speed. In the blink of an eye, he was nowhere to be seen. The news of Qin Daowen being killed by Lin Feng quickly spread throughout the chaotic ancient nation. Previously, Qin Daowen had provoked Lin Feng several times. He mocked and despised Lin Feng. He didn't put Lin Feng in his eyes at all. But now, he was killed by Lin Feng. This matter naturally caused a huge uproar. Qin Daowen wasn't a simple figure. He was born with the word Dao in his hand. Such a person was a proud son of the heavens and could achieve extremely heaven-defying achievements in the future. But now, he had died prematurely. Lin Feng's provocation of the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and cultivators from other foreign forces also spread quickly. Many people gnashed their teeth in hatred. This kid is too arrogant. He's just one person, yet he dares to provoke the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces. Does he really think that he's invincible against cultivators below the great Emperor realm? Someone's voice was cold and filled with killing intent. A great Emperor realm existence wouldn't attack Lin Feng openly. Existences at their level basically participated in great Emperor realm battles. If a great emperor openly killed Lin Feng, the great emperors of the 9 prefectures might also kill the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and cultivators from other forces as revenge. Back then in Sky Martial Continent, Emperor God Wu Yuan had crossed the sea and wanted to kill Lin Feng silently. However, he had been killed by Lin Feng's scheme. Although Lin Feng was not dead, the 9 provinces' great emperor had made some counterattacks to intimidate the myriad races, the extraterritorial races, and the cultivators of other foreign forces. During that period of time, many top-notch experts from the myriad races, the extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces were killed. The 3 forces knew that the one who had attacked was a great emperor of the 9 states. Now, the myriad races, the extraterrestrial races, and the great emperors from the other forces were all apprehensive. Moreover, the great emperors were all focused on the primal chaos gate. They didn't have the time to pay attention to Lin Feng. The son of the Sky Demon Emperor, Gongxin Ye, Xingyuan Dao, and the others are all peerless and terrifying existences. They are definitely much stronger than Qin Daowen. If they were to attack, they would definitely be able to kill Lin Feng, a cultivator said. Not long after, a piece of news spread among the myriad races, the extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces. The son of the Sky Demon Emperor, Gongxin Ye, Xingyuan Dao, the female cultivator from the fallen angel tribe, Naylan Manli, the expert from the Qinwu people, Jin Xuanzhong, and the others had planned to join forces to kill Lin Feng. Although many of them were confident that they could kill Lin Feng alone. However, they didn't want to fight a bitter battle with Lin Feng. They wanted to get rid of Lin Feng as soon as possible. After a fierce battle with Lin Feng, even if they managed to kill Lin Feng, they would definitely consume a lot of energy. By then, the orthodoxy, dharma treasures, and wealth on Lin Feng might be snatched away by others. This caused many people to be apprehensive. Hence, no one was willing to kill Lin Feng alone. These people chose to join forces to attack Lin Feng. After killing Lin Feng, they would share the mystical abilities, dharma treasures, and wealth on Lin Feng. It was said that there were more than 10 top-notch prodigies participating in this matter. Not only were there cultivators from the myriad races, but there were also top-notch cultivators from the extraterrestrial races and other foreign forces. Lin Feng didn't necessarily have a grudge with them. They participated in this matter because they wanted to kill Lin Feng. It was entirely because Lin Feng had something they wanted. For example, the mystical ability, 72 transformations, that Lin Feng controlled. This matter had long spread. Some people had already made this judgment after the battle between Lin Feng, Jin Xianzhao, and Qin Dewen. Other than the heaven-defying mystical ability, the 72 transformations, they really couldn't think of any other reason to explain why Lin Feng had used Jin Xianzhao and Qin Dewen's trump cards one after another. Ever since they learned that those top-notch prodigies were planning to join forces to kill Lin Feng, cultivators from the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces actively participated in this matter to search for Lin Feng's whereabouts. They hoped to help these top-notch prodigies find Lin Feng's whereabouts and send out a signal when the time came. Perhaps after Lin Feng was killed, as the person who discovered Lin Feng, they could also obtain some of the things on Lin Feng's body. There were quite a few cultivators who had such thoughts. There was no such thing as an airtight wall in the world. The matter of the heavenly demon emperor's son, Gongxin Ye, and the others forming an alliance naturally couldn't be hidden from the world. The cultivators of the 9 provinces also heard about this matter. There are too few top-notch cultivators among the younger generation of the human race. It's a pity that I'm not strong enough. If I'm strong enough, I can form an alliance with Lin Feng and fight against the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other foreign forces together. Some human cultivators sighed with emotion. Yes, the human race is now in a weakened state. Apart from the Red World Fairy, it's been a long time since a top-notch expert has appeared. Another person sighed with emotion. Lin Feng also heard that the heavenly demon emperor's son and the others had formed an alliance to deal with him. After hearing this, Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He didn't take this matter to heart. These people had formed an alliance to deal with him. He wasn't stupid. Of course, he wouldn't fall into a trap. Moreover, Lin Feng felt that these people couldn't stay together forever. Perhaps they would split up and search for him. This was his chance. When the time came, he could choose to deal with them one by one. On this day, Lin Feng heard a piece of news. In the God's Fall mountain range, the earth split open and a huge abyss appeared. Demonic energies surged in the abyss. Some cultivators went to the abyss one after another to explore its secrets, but they didn't come out alive. That abyss was definitely not simple. More and more cultivators were attracted to that place. After hearing this news, Lin Feng inquired about the location of the God's Fall mountain range and immediately flew in the direction of the God's Fall mountain range. One day later, Lin Feng arrived at the God's Fall mountain range. This mountain range was very large. It originally extended for 40 to 50 kilometers. But now, the entire mountain range was split in half. A huge abyss appeared. Chapter 2895. There were some cultivators scattered around the huge devil abyss. There were cultivators from the 10,000 races, extraterritorial races, and cultivators from other forces. Of course, there were also some cultivators from the 9 continents. Some people entered the Devil Abyss one after another, but they did not come out after a long time. It was unknown if they had met with a calamity in the Devil Abyss. Lin Feng planned to enter the Devil Abyss to see what was going on inside. Whoosh! He quickly flew towards the Devil Abyss and then quickly flew down. In the Devil Abyss, black fog rolled, emitting a cold and terrifying aura. During the process of diving, Lin Feng heard a buzzing sound. His expression could not help but become cautious. That sound was very strange and made him feel uneasy. Lin Feng looked around and his eyes narrowed slightly. He saw a dense swarm of small black insects flying over from afar. Those small insects looked very much like ants. They were about the same size. They blotted out the sky and covered the earth. There were countless of them. Some cultivators entered the abyss like Lin Feng and were enveloped by those small black insects. They did not even have the chance to scream before they were swallowed by those small black insects, and their bodies turned into a pile of bones. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. Those small black insects were too terrifying. He sped up and flew down quickly. However, at this time, there were also waves of violent fluctuations coming from below. Lin Feng looked down and found that there was also a dense swarm of small insects that blotted out the sky. Now, Lin Feng was surrounded by these small insects. However, Lin Feng was not worried or afraid at all. When the dense swarm of small insects pounced on him, Lin Feng directly took out the heavenly fire. The 4 heavenly fires burned fiercely. Sizzling sounds could be heard continuously. The small insects were directly burned to ashes by the heavenly fire. Lin Feng took this opportunity to enter the bottom of the abyss. He found that there were many corpses at the bottom of the abyss. Some of these corpses had long decayed. Some even had traces of blood. The decayed bones should have been left behind by cultivators who had died a long time ago, while the blood-stained bones should have been left behind not too long ago. Perhaps it was the bones that had been eaten clean by those little bugs. Lin Feng headed deeper into the forest. The bottom of the abyss was very large and filled with a strange power. This strange power attracted Lin Feng's attention. He always felt that this abyss was exuding a strange aura, but Lin Feng couldn't pinpoint it for the time being. Not long after, Lin Feng saw several corpses. These corpses had not been gnawed to the point that only bones were left. However, their eyes had been gouged out. Why did you only dig out their eyes? After it appears, it will bear 12 lotus seeds. When the 12 lotus seeds mature, the amethyst flame gold lotus will spontaneously combust, leaving behind only 12 lotus seeds. Now, those lotus seeds are clearly about to mature. These people are all waiting for the lotus seeds to mature. These lotus seeds contain extremely high-grade energy, and are the most precious heavenly treasure. They can increase a cultivator's cultivation, the demon lord said. Lin Feng's eyes couldn't help but light up. The 12 lotus seeds were actually heavenly treasures that could increase a cultivator's cultivation. Such heavenly treasures were the most precious among all heavenly treasures. I'm already at the 9th layer of the giant god realm. If I can get the 12 lotus seeds, I wonder if I can break through to the 10th layer? Lin Feng couldn't help but take a deep breath. He was determined to get his hands on a treasure like the 12 lotus seeds. However, now wasn't the best time to make a move. The group of cultivators standing beside the amethyst flame gold lotus weren't simple characters. Lin Feng needed to find a rare opportunity to make a move. As time passed, the 12 lotus seeds gradually matured. About 6 hours later, the 12 lotus seeds matured and the amethyst flame gold lotus began to combust. In the blink of an eye, it turned into ashes, leaving behind 12 golden lotus seeds floating in the void. Chapter 2896. The 12 golden lotus seeds had matured and were now floating in the air. The energy they emitted made people's hearts palpitate. Such a treasure was definitely something that would shake people's hearts and make them yearn for it. Asterisk whoosh. Whoosh. The two groups of people standing not far away from the 12 golden lotus seeds all made their moves and rushed towards the golden lotus seeds. Attack! A male cultivator shouted and took the lead to attack the female cultivator from the fallen angel tribe, Nayland Monley. Terrifying fluctuations swept across the heavens and the earth, surging out and shaking the heavens and the earth. The fluctuations caused people to be shocked and moved. This was definitely an extremely powerful character. These people didn't want to share the 12 golden lotus seeds with Nayland Monley and her companion, so they chose to attack. Nayland Monley's cultivation was naturally very powerful. She was a top existence among the younger generation of the myriad races. Previously, she had even formed an alliance with young Master Nye, Xingyuandao, and the son of the heavenly demon king to search for her whereabouts. But now, she was besieged. The other 12 male cultivators weren't young cultivators. They had cultivated for many years and had deep and powerful auras. Therefore, they weren't afraid of Nayland Monley. The top cultivators of the younger generation were very powerful, but compared to many cultivators who had cultivated for many years, they were a bit inferior. For example, Nayland Monley had extraordinary talents. She could even suppress some cultivators who had reached the 90th step. However, Nayland Monley was suppressing cultivators with ordinary talents who had reached the 90th step. Different talents meant that cultivators who had reached the 90th step would have different battle prowess. If they met a cultivator with heaven-defying talents who had reached the 90th step, they would be suppressed. At that time, they would be suppressed or even crushed by the other party. The other 11 cultivators also attacked. These 12 people were very powerful, and they launched an extremely fierce attack on Nayland Monley and her companions. After being besieged, Nayland Monley and her companion began to counterattack. In the face of these people's attacks, Nayland Monley took out a powerful defensive magic treasure. It was an umbrella-shaped magic treasure. The magic treasure emitted waves of astonishing fluctuations and dropped down 5 elemental light. The 5 elemental light enveloped her and her companion. When the 12 cultivators attacked, they were all blocked by the 5 elemental light. Nayland Monley and her companions' attacks were also very tyrannical, forcing the other 12 cultivators to panic. It seems that Nayland Monley and her companion are going to defeat those 12 cultivators. Lin Feng couldn't help but narrow his eyes. The 12 cultivators were very powerful, but they didn't have powerful defensive magic treasures. From Nayland Monley, they couldn't break through Nayland Monley's defensive magic treasure in a short time. At this time, the use of magic treasures. In a battle between cultivators, it wasn't certain that you would win just because you had a higher cultivation. Many times, winning depended on many factors. Magic treasures were one of the most important reasons for this. Just like the battle in front of them. If Nayland Monley didn't have that powerful defensive magic treasure, it would be as difficult as ascending to heaven for her and her companion to contend against the other 12 cultivators. But now that she had this powerful defensive magic treasure, the result was completely different. Quickly retreat, and you can still live. Otherwise, don't blame us for killing you, Nayland Monley said coldly. Now, Nayland Monley's goal was the 12 golden lotus seeds, not to kill the 12 cultivators in front of her. Killing these people may take some time. The longer the delay, the worse it would be, because there might be some unforeseen events. Now, the most important thing was to scare away these 12 people and obtain the 12 golden lotus seeds. The leading male cultivator sneered and said, "Do you really think that everything is under control? If you really have such an idea, then you are too self-righteous." Not only did these 12 people not retreat, but they also increased the intensity of their attacks. A more powerful divine ability was brewed and blasted towards Nayland Monley and her companion. "Since you want to court death, then don't blame us." Nayland Monley's expression was cold. Just as she was about to brew a more powerful divine ability to deal with these 12 cultivators. Suddenly, the female cultivator beside Nayland Monley suddenly launched a sneak attack on Nayland Monley. She quietly retreated behind Nayland Monley and slapped her palm towards Nayland Monley's back. Nayland Monley didn't guard against her companion at all, so she didn't know that her companion would sneak attack her. Bang! The fierce palms slapped Nayland Monley's body and directly sent Nayland Monley flying. Puff! Nayland Monley couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood, and her face became as pale as paper. She felt the magic power in her body become chaotic, and almost fell to the ground. What's going on? Lin Feng, who was hiding in the dark and watching the battle, was completely dumbfounded. The battle in front of him was too dramatic. Who would have thought that Nayland Monley's companion would suddenly attack Nayland Monley? Seeing this scene, even Lin Feng was completely dumbfounded. You Simon, why did you sneak attack me? Nayland Monley looked at her companion with an ugly expression. This female cultivator was called Yu Simon. Nayland Monley and Yu Simon had known each other for many years. Of course, their relationship wasn't very close. However, they had trained together. This time, the two of them had explored a secret place together, and their relationship seemed to have improved by leaps and bounds. Nayland Monley had even considered Yu Simon a good friend. As for Nayland Monley, she felt that Yu Simon considered her a good friend as well. Now, however, she knew that it was all a lie. Nayland Monley's earlier enthusiasm was just to dispel her wariness towards her. Nayland Monley! You might not know this, but Brother Tang and I have known each other for a long time. Right now, there are only a few of us here. Killing you will not only give us the 12 golden lotus seeds, we will also be able to obtain the many treasures on you. Moreover, I heard that you have a life and death formula. That is a treasure that everyone yearns for. We must obtain that life and death formula, Yu Simon said with a smile. There was a charming smile on her face, but in Nayland Monley's eyes, that smile was bone-chilling. Life and death formula? What's that? Lin Feng could not help but feel puzzled. This was his first time hearing about the life and death formula. Judging from the name, it sounded like a cultivation formula. To avoid any unexpected events, let's kill her, Yu Simon said, killing intent surging. Chapter 2897. Nayland Monley activated her defensive magic treasure to protect her body as she tried to break out of the encirclement. However, her magic power was in chaos, and her battle prowess had greatly declined. Without the ability to break out, the light of the 5 elements protecting her would be completely destroyed in no time. At that time, Nayland Monley would die without a doubt. Demon Lord, have you heard of the life and death art? Lin Feng asked while watching the battle. Of course I've heard of the life and death art. Rumor has it that there are 9 scrolls in total. It is said that the 9 scrolls evolved from a natural immortal stone. Each scroll contains a supreme technique. If you can gather all 9 scrolls, you can slaughter the heavens, the Demon Lord said. It's that powerful? Lin Feng couldn't help but be shocked. No wonder Yu Simon attacked Nayland Monley. What made Yu Simon attack wasn't the 12 golden lotus seeds, but the scroll of the life and death art that Nayland Monley had. 9 scrolls combined could slaughter the heavens. What was the heavens? The heavenly Tao was the heavens. Rumor has it that the 30 heavenly lords of the heavenly realm were the incarnations of the heavenly Tao. If they could really slaughter the heavens, it would be too terrifying. This was an unimaginable battle prowess. Lin Feng's gaze was focused on the battle. The attacks of the 12 powerful cultivators were getting fiercer and fiercer. Nayland Monley was clearly unable to hold on. The magic power fluctuations were getting weaker and more chaotic. At the same time, the defensive light barrier protecting Nayland Monley was also beginning to crack. Bang! Finally, with a shattering sound, the defensive light barrier shattered. Nayland Monley suffered a backlash and was sent flying. The magic power in her body was scattered. She wouldn't be able to recover in a short time. Haha, this little girl is also top-notch. It's a pity to kill her directly. Why don't we enjoy her for a while before killing her? A male cultivator said. The male cultivator's words caused the eyes of the others to light up. Nayland Monley's face was filled with horror. If such a thing really happened, it would be a fate worse than death. Hee, that's a good suggestion. The rest of the male cultivators laughed and walked towards Nayland Monley. At this time, 12 golden lights flew out from Simon's sleeves. The speed of the 12 golden lights was too fast, and they flew towards the 12 male cultivators. Simon was only a few meters away from the 12 male cultivators. When she suddenly attacked, the 12 male cultivators were caught off guard. The 12 male cultivators reacted extremely quickly. He slammed his palm toward the golden light. However, those rays of golden light were actually small golden snakes. The golden snake was as thick as a chopstick. Its body was covered with golden spots. The small golden snake was called a gold-spotted snake. This kind of golden-spotted snake was an extremely rare species in the desolate world. It was fast and had a strong defense. Most importantly, it was highly poisonous. Some of the cultivators unleashed palm attacks upon the golden-striped serpent's body. However, the golden-striped serpent's defense was simply too strong. Thus, the attacks failed to harm the golden-striped serpent at all. However, there were some cultivators who didn't even encounter a golden-spotted snake. Crack, crack, the golden-striped serpent flew in front of the cultivators, opened its mouth, and bit them. The poison in the golden-striped serpent's fangs immediately entered the cultivators' bodies. The cultivators' bodies twitched violently, and they began to foam at the mouth. Simon, why did you kill us? The leader of the black-robed men glared at Simon before he died. If I don't kill you, how can I take all the treasures for myself? Simon said indifferently. The 12 black-robed men fell to the ground, their eyes wide open. They died with grievances. Then, Simon put away the 12 golden-striped serpents. A woman's heart is the most poisonous. After seeing this scene, Lin Feng couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. This woman called Simon was truly too vicious and merciless. The phrase the heart of a snake and scorpion was the most appropriate to describe this woman. First, she ambushed Nayland Monley, who trusted her a lot. Then, she ambushed a group of her allies. She really wouldn't give up until she reached her goal. Amazing, truly amazing. I never thought that you would be such a vicious and calculative person. Nayland Monley looked at Simon with a pale face. This peerless beauty, who had always been extremely arrogant, had a sad smile on her face. It seemed like she was mocking Simon. Yet, it also seemed like she was mocking herself. Every man for himself, and the devil takes the hindmost. Don't blame me. In fact, I didn't want to deal with you, but the life and death art on you deeply attracted me. I've long heard of the life and death art's name, but I've never seen it before. I really want to see what's recorded in it, Simon said with a smile. This woman was truly too beautiful. Every move, every frown, and every smile had great charm. Of course, when he thought of this woman as a vicious woman, he couldn't help but think about it. This kind of beauty would be greatly discounted. How about we make a deal? Nayland Monley said. No, no, no. I won't make any deal with you. My principle is to completely kill those who have become enemies, leaving no future trouble, Simon said with a smile. This woman was indeed vicious. Simon raised her right hand, wanting to slap Nayland Monley to death. Just as Simon made her move, Lin Feng used the Great Void technique and quietly lurked behind Simon. Then, he used the demon ancestor's sacred fist to kill Simon. Simon's spiritual sense was extremely sharp. She actually sensed Lin Feng behind her. She turned around and slapped at Lin Feng. Bang! The two of them collided with each other. Lin Feng's attack was too tyrannical. Simon, who hastily received Lin Feng's palm, turned pale. It's you! Nayland Monley looked at Lin Feng in shock. Her face was full of shock. She didn't expect to see Lin Feng here. Previously, she had formed an alliance with Gong Zhongye, the son of the Sky Demon Emperor, Xingya now, and others to search for Lin Feng's whereabouts, but they couldn't find Lin Feng. Now Lin Feng had appeared here. Lin Feng's appearance had saved her life, but she didn't know if it would be a blessing or a curse for her. Hee, long time no see. Did you miss me? Lin Feng winked at Nayland Monley, as if teasing her after meeting a lover. Simon sneered at Lin Feng. So you're that Lin Feng. You're about to die, Yet you're still seducing women. You really don't know what's good for you. Look at your arm. In less than 60 breaths, you'll die from the poison attacking your heart. Hearing this, Lin Feng raised his arm. He immediately saw that his arm had turned black. The poison had invaded his body. Chapter 2898. What a powerful poison! Lin Feng was shocked. It seemed like this woman was an expert in using poison. He had just exchanged a palm with her, and he had been poisoned by her. This woman's methods were truly sinister and terrifying. If he was not careful, he could die in her hands. Lin Feng hurriedly used the great poison technique to resist the invasion of the poison in his body. Yu Simon looked at Lin Feng in surprise and said, "The great poison technique, you actually know such a powerful sacred art. It is rumored that you have many powerful inheritances. Now, it seems that the rumors are true. However, even if you know the great poison technique, it is useless. My poison is extremely terrifying. No one can neutralize it. Although the great poison technique can slow down the spread of the poison, it is unable to neutralize it. Therefore, you still have to die today. Of course, if you choose to submit to me and agree to be my male slave, perhaps I will consider sparing your life." Lin Feng sneered and said, "Isn't it a little too early to be happy? The great poison technique cannot neutralize your poison, but I have other ways to neutralize it." With that, Lin Feng directly summoned the white jade toad. Croak, croak, croak. The white jade toad croaked a few times and then suddenly sucked. The poison in Lin Feng's body was immediately sucked out by the white jade toad. The poison was turned into nutrients for the white jade toad. The nemesis of poison, the white jade toad. Yu Simon could not help but be shocked when she saw the white jade toad. Obviously, she also recognized the white jade toad. Generally, cultivators who were good at using poison should have some understanding of the white jade toad. Yu Simon looked at the white jade toad with a greedy gaze. The white jade toad was extremely important to a poison expert like her. Perhaps, it was even more tempting to Yu Simon than many other sacred arts. "Go to hell!" Yu Simon quickly rushed towards Lin Feng and slapped her palm towards Lin Feng. Above Yu Simon's palm, powerful magic power surged out. A faintly discernible silhouette of a temple condensed and formed. The temple was ancient and boundless, exuding an immortal aura. After seeing the temple, Lin Feng could not help but frown slightly. This Yu Simon's cultivation was very strong. The attack of the temple's shadow was also very tyrannical. Her cultivation was strong, and she was a hidden poison expert. She was good at scheming and ruthless. Yu Simon. Of course, Lin Feng didn't care about Yu Simon's cultivation level. If he couldn't defeat her, he would have wasted his time practicing cultivation. Lin Feng used the demon ancestor's holy punch to attack Yu Simon. The demon Alpha's shadow appeared and threw a punch at the illusory temple that Yu Simon had conjured. They flew towards Lin Feng. They arrived in front of Lin Feng in an instant. The 12 golden spotted snakes were highly poisonous. If bitten, death would be the only outcome. Lin Feng did not care about the 12 golden spotted snakes' attack. The white jade toad flew out and opened its mouth. A white jade-like mist surged out and enveloped the 12 golden spotted snakes. The 12 golden spotted snakes twitched violently after being enveloped by the white jade-like mist. Lin Feng waved his hand. Then, he collected the 12 golden spotted snakes. "My golden spotted snakes!" Seeing her 12 golden spotted snakes being collected by Lin Feng, Yu Simon shouted angrily and pounced on Lin Feng. The 12 golden spotted snakes were nurtured by Yu Simon with a lot of energy. Yu Simon treated them like her own life. How could she let Lin Feng collect them so easily? "The effect of using them to brew wine should be very good," Lin Feng said with a smile. "I'll kill you!" Yu Simon continuously slapped 36 palms towards Lin Feng. These 36 palms vaguely formed an 8 trigrams diagram. The power of each palm was extremely shocking. It was terrifying to the extreme. "Humph!" said Lin Feng while smiling coldly. He didn't look scared at all. He opened his hand and released a bestial beast attack. An immortal ancient demon appeared behind Lin Feng. The ancient demon stepped out and swept a fist towards Yu Simon. Bang! The two sides collided. Yu Simon was sent flying and her face became as pale as paper. Yu Simon was already injured in the first collision. Therefore, it was difficult for her to fully display her combat strength. Now Yu Simon was injured on top of her injuries. Lin Feng stepped forward and said indifferently, "It seems that your strength is limited to this. It's a pity to kill such a beauty like you. I've always been protective of women. Today, I'll suppress you and take you as a slave," said Lin Feng, releasing talismans which moved towards Yu Simon to oppress her. "You dare?" Yu Simon couldn't help but scream. Previously, she wanted to take Lin Feng as a male slave. But in the blink of an eye, Lin Feng actually wanted to take her as a slave. How could a proud woman like Yu Simon accept such a thing? If she really became Lin Feng's woman, it would be a fate worse than death. Nalan Momley looked at Yu Simon gloatingly. Seeing Yu Simon's panic-stricken face with a trace of madness, Nalan Momley's heart felt very carefree. But when she thought about how she couldn't condense her magic power and fell into Lin Feng's hands, her heart couldn't help but sink. How would Lin Feng deal with her? Nalan Momley couldn't help but worry. At this moment, Lin Feng's runes had already suppressed Yu Simon's body. No one could deal with her. After being suppressed by Lin Feng, Yu Simon struggled with all her might. However, no matter how hard she struggled, she couldn't break free. Her face turned extremely pale. She couldn't imagine what kind of terrifying things would happen to her if she fell into Lin Feng's hands. Would it be as simple as becoming a slave? Yu Simon didn't think so. Lin Feng pinched Yu Simon's chin and said with a smile, "Today, you've shown me what it means to be the most vicious woman. However, I feel that turning a vicious woman into a loyal slave should be something that gives me a sense of accomplishment, right? Do you know who I am? If you know who I am, you won't think that way." Yu Simon looked coldly at Lin Feng. Lin Feng asked, "Your identity? What? Could it be that you have some special identity?" Yu Simon sneered. "My father is the overlord of the universe, supreme sovereign myriad star. If you dare touch me, have you thought about the consequences?" Lin Feng directly crushed the void teleportation talisman. Swoosh! The power of the void enveloped Lin Feng, Yu Simon, and Nalan Momley. Then, Lin Feng, Yu Simon, and Nalan Momley disappeared without a trace. Roar, roar, roar! The undead spirit roared angrily and soared into the sky, wanting to leave the devil abyss. However, the formation runes in the void intertwined and forced the undead spirit to retreat. The undead spirit's origin must be extremely extraordinary. It seemed to be trapped here and unable to escape. Lin Feng used the void teleportation talisman to bring Yu Simon and Nalan Momley to a mountain forest 300 miles away. "Lin Feng, let's negotiate. As long as you let us go, we can give you a lot of benefits. Sacred arts, magic treasures, etc. We'll give you whatever you want," Yu Simon and Nalan Momley hurriedly said. After the two women found that they were free, their minds became active again. Chapter 2900. Don't waste your time. "Even if you have a glib tongue, I won't let the two of you leave today," Lin Feng said indifferently. Then, he found a hidden cave. Lin Feng planned to refine the 12 golden lotuses first. He imprisoned Yu Simon and Nalan Momley, causing them to lose the ability to move. Then, Lin Feng threw the two to the side. "You guys stay here for the time being. After I finish my cultivation, I'll come and talk to you guys about love, life, and ancient poetry. Of course, I'll also talk about life's ideals while I'm at it." "What a scene to look forward to," Lin Feng said. "Bah! Who the hell is looking forward to that?" Yu Simon and Nalan Momley couldn't help but spit at Lin Feng. Then, they prayed that Lin Feng would die from chi deviation while cultivating. That would be the best outcome. Lin Feng found a place to sit cross-legged. Then, he took out the 12 golden lotus seeds. Seeing that Lin Feng was about to refine the 12 golden lotus seeds, Yu Simon and Naylan Monley revealed looks of envy. They also wanted to refine the 12 lotus seeds to increase their cultivation. Unfortunately, the two of them were now Lin Feng's prisoners. They didn't know what Lin Feng would do next. At the thought of this, the two girls couldn't help but feel irritated. However, Yu Simon and Naylan Monley had turned from friends to enemies. There was no way for them to communicate with each other. The energy contained in each lotus seed is extremely powerful. I wonder if I'll be able to break through after refining all 12 lotus seeds? Lin Feng couldn't help but ponder. He didn't waste any time. Instead, he peeled the 12 lotus seeds one by one. Then, he ate all 12 lotus seeds. The 12 lotus seeds contained astonishing energy fluctuations. After Lin Feng ate them, the 12 lotus seeds vibrated with a terrifying power, as if they wanted to destroy Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng hurriedly circulated the immemorial dragonesque elephant art to refine the 12 lotus seeds. As the Archean dragonesque elephant art circulated, the 12 lotus seeds began to decompose, turning into the purest form of energy, which was then absorbed by Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng's realm also began to steadily increase. Right now, Lin Feng was at the early 9th layer of the giant god realm. Not long after, he broke through to the mid-9th layer of the giant god realm. As Lin Feng continued to refine the 12 lotus seeds, Lin Feng's realm continued to rise. Soon, he broke through to the late 9th layer of the giant god realm. Not long after, he broke through to the peak of the 9th layer of the giant god realm. At this time, Lin Feng began to attempt to break through to the 10th layer of the giant god realm. A large amount of energy surged within his body. Like a surging river, it swept through the world. The majestic energy within his body began to impact the barrier of the 10th layer of the giant god realm. Over and over again. But the impact ended in failure many times. If it were someone else, they would have already succeeded in breaking through long ago. But Lin Feng was different. Lin Feng's accumulation was really too huge. Wanting to break through was God knows how many times more difficult than others. The energy seems to be somewhat insufficient. Lin Feng could not help frowning. The energy of the golden lotus seeds was not enough to help him complete the breakthrough. Lin Feng was very clear about this point. Lin Feng opened his eyes and could not help looking at Yu Simon and Naylan Monley. Lin Feng saw the cinnabar on their wrists before and knew that these two girls were still virgins. The cultivation of these two girls was powerful. The power of primordial Yin must be very tyrannical. If he relied on the power of the two girls' primordial Yin to cultivate, he should be able to break through to the 10th layer of the giant god realm in one fell swoop. Thinking of this, Lin Feng got up and walked toward the two girls. In fact, harvesting the power of primordial Yin was naturally the most effective technique. But just as Lin Feng said, he was a person who had tender feelings for the fairer sex. The harm of harvesting the power of a woman was too great. It could even endanger her life. Therefore, Lin Feng used the dual cultivation technique, which could bring benefits to both sides. After the dual cultivation, Lin Feng's cultivation finally broke through to the 10th layer of the giant god realm. And Yu Simon and Naylan Monley also began to absorb the power of yin and yang harmony in their bodies. Ha ha ha! I have now cultivated to the 10th layer of the giant god realm cultivation base. The next step is to break through to the quasi-emperor realm. Lin Feng could not help laughing. The 10th layer of the giant god realm to the quasi-emperor realm was an extremely crucial breakthrough. No matter how powerful the giant god was, he was just a god. The life level had not completed the transformation. And the quasi-emperor was an emperor. The life level had completed the transformation. Once breaking through to the quasi-emperor realm, the body, soul, magic power, and so on would complete a major transformation. At that time, one's strength would undergo an astonishing improvement. And only by breaking through to the quasi-emperor realm would one have the qualifications to aspire for the great emperor. Giant god realm cultivators did not have the qualifications to aspire for the great emperor. The quasi-emperor had 99 stone steps. Every time one stepped on a higher stone step, then one would be closer to the great Emperor realm that everyone dreamed of. Once one broke through to the great Emperor realm, one would become a true overlord-level existence. Lin Feng will kill you! At this time, Yu Simon and Nayland Monley opened their eyes and directly pounced on Lin Feng. After the dual cultivation, their cultivation base had also undergone a great improvement. But they were not happy at all, because the price they had to pay was too heavy. A day as husband and wife is 100 days of grace. Why did you turn hostile? Lin Feng looked at the two women with a smile that was not a smile. The two women hated Lin Feng so much that they gnashed their teeth, wishing they could cut Lin Feng into pieces right now. Everyone was ashamed and angry, and their killing intent was awe-inspiring. Lin Feng did not have the intention to continue fighting with Yu Simon and Nayland Monley. He said, "Little Manan, go back and tell my father-in-law, the Emperor, that I will definitely pay a visit in the future. Little Lily, I heard that your family background is also very extraordinary. Do you have any great Emperor-level elders in your family? I will also pay a visit in the future. Don't worry, I will be responsible for you. Go to hell." The two women attacked Lin Feng with powerful attacks. Divine abilities that blotted out the sky and covered the earth bombarded Lin Feng, but Lin Feng dodged them all. Those divine abilities bombarded the air. "Don't be so fierce, okay?" Lin Feng said loudly. Then, he quickly dodged the two women's attacks, not daring to stay any longer, and quickly left this place. "Tsk tisk, it's really too wonderful for words, too wonderful for words." Lin Feng smacked his lips and said. Yu Simon and Nayland Monley each had their own merits. But he did not know how Yu Simon and Nayland Monley would react when they saw him again after this incident. Would they not give up until they killed him? Or would they half-heartedly refuse? Would they become his people? 3 days later, Lin Feng saw a sneaky figure. Chapter 2901. The cultivator that Lin Feng saw was none other than Wu Liang Taoist. Lin Feng did not expect to meet Wu Liang Taoist here. Wherever there was a fortuitous encounter, Wu Liang Taoist would be there. Lin Feng quickly flew toward Wu Liang Taoist. Who would have thought that Wu Liang Taoist would run away? F***CK. Why are you running, Wu Liang Taoist? Lin Feng could not help but shout. Wu Liang Taoist acted as if he did not hear Lin Feng's voice and continued running as fast as lightning. Is this Wu Liang Taoist possessed? Why is he running away when he sees me? There must be something wrong. Otherwise, Wu Liang Taoist would not be in such a hurry to run away. Lin Feng could not help but ponder. Soon, his eyes lit up. Wu Liang Taoist was a person who would not wake up early if there were no benefits. Could it be that Wu Liang Taoist had found some treasure, and was on his way to find it, and did not want to share it with Lin Feng after seeing him? Was that why Wu Liang Taoist wanted to get rid of him? The more Lin Feng thought about it, the more he felt that it was possible. This style of doing things was too similar to Wu Liang Taoist's. Lin Feng shouted, "Wu Liang Taoist, why are you running away? I have the cultivation method of a supreme divine ability, the life and death art. Don't you want to know?" The life and death art was something that Lin Feng had captured when he was dual cultivating with Nayland Monley. Lin Feng had taken advantage of the fact that Nayland Monley was the most distracted moment to invade her soul with his divine sense. After hearing the words, "life and death art," Wu Liang Taoist's eyes lit up. He quickly stopped. Then, he turned around and walked toward Lin Feng with a smile on his fat face. "Isn't this my big brother, Lin Feng? I didn't expect to see you here. What fate! I was in a hurry just now, so I did not see you. I hope you can forgive me." Lin Feng really wanted to punch the shameless Wu Liang Taoist until he fainted. Only the immeasurable Taoist could say such shameless words. He was obviously pretending not to see her. He only stopped after hearing the words life and death art. Now, he actually had the nerve to say that he didn't see him because he was in a hurry. There should be a limit to how shameless a person can be, right? Lin Feng was too lazy to argue with the immeasurable Taoist. He said, Where are you going? Look at how anxious you are. Did you discover some immortal estate or tomb? Taoist Immeasurable looked at Lin Feng as though he was guarding against a thief. He hastily replied, Of course not. How can an immortal estate tomb be so easily discovered? Taoist Wu Liang smiled and said, Hee brother, you just mentioned the life and death art. Could it be that the life and death art you are talking about is the rumored cultivation art that appeared on a stone tablet that was nurtured by the heavens and earth? There are a total of 9 scrolls, and each scroll contains a supreme divine ability. If all 9 scrolls of the life and death art are combined into one, they can even slaughter the heavens, Lin Feng said. Taoist is truly experienced and knowledgeable. You even know about the life and death art. I am truly impressed. Taoist Immeasurable smiled. Looks like this poor Taoist was right. Can we comprehend this life and death art together? Said Lin Feng. Of course, there's no problem. But recently, my memory has been bad. I can't remember the contents of the life and death formula. But if I can find a celestial palace or an ancient grave, I'll be able to remember some celestial pills. Maybe I'll be able to remember the formula. Taoist Immeasurable rolled his eyes when he heard Lin Feng's words. He suddenly had the urge to slap Lin Feng to death. How could a person be so shameless? Lin Feng felt that Taoist Immeasurable was a shameless person, and Taoist Immeasurable felt that Lin Feng was a shameless person. Taoist Immeasurable forced a smile and said, If we're talking about ancient tombs, I've actually heard of something. Lin Feng had long known that Taoist Immeasurable had found an ancient tomb, but he had been lying. Now, he knew that he had the cultivation method of the life and death art. Only then did Taoist Immeasurable become obedient. Oh? Ancient tomb? Whose tomb is it? Lin Feng asked curiously. It's said that it's an existence with a great origin. It seems to be related to the first batch of Xiantian lifeforms. Taoist Immeasurable said. It's related to the first batch of Xiantian lifeforms? Lin Feng was shocked. The first batch of Xiantian lifeforms should be Nuwa, Pangu, and the others. The number of Xiantian lifeforms in that batch was definitely not large. Moreover, each of them possessed terrifying strength. Do you know who it is? Lin Feng asked. I don't know. I'll have to search for it before I know. Taoist Immeasurable's eyes flashed as he said this. This fellow was most proficient in tomb raiding. Now that he had found such a shocking tomb, naturally, Taoist Immeasurable was extremely excited. All right, let's go take a look at that ancient tomb, Lin Feng said with great interest. With Taoist Immeasurable around, they could explore the tomb without worry. Even if they encountered danger, Taoist Immeasurable would have a way to escape. Taoist Immeasurable had 2 powerful abilities. One was tomb raiding. The other was escaping. That life and death art. Taoist Immeasurable rubbed his hands together. His eyes glowed with a green light. Lin Feng said. Don't worry, I'll remember it once we start exploring the tomb. Little fox. Taoist Immeasurable muttered in his heart. The 2 of them headed towards the tomb together. Along the way, terrifying waves of energy surged from the distance. The Primal Chaos Gate flew over. Behind the Primal Chaos Gate, a dozen balls of light flew out. Heavens, the treasures in the Primal Chaos Gate are flying out! Lin Feng couldn't help but cry out in alarm. Quick, chase! Taoist Immeasurable roared. He locked onto a treasure and chased after it. Lin Feng also locked onto a treasure and chased after it. As for the ancient tomb Taoist Immeasurable had mentioned, it wouldn't be too late to explore it after finding the treasure. A dozen great emperors chased after them. They didn't care about the treasures flying out of the Primal Chaos Gate. Instead, they chased after it, wanting to enter the interior. The void split open. Savage appeared and punched the Primal Chaos Gate. A huge crack opened in the Primal Chaos Gate. Savage entered the interior of the Primal Chaos Gate. Senior Savage has gone in. Lin Feng's heart trembled. Chapter 2902. The world inside the primal chaos door was actually an extremely dangerous world. Even the extraterrestrial Great Emperor had fallen. Naturally, one would encounter some terrifying things after entering the primal chaos door. Hence, some great emperors had to work together to explore the world behind the primal chaos door. However, Savage was simply too powerful. He entered the world behind the primal chaos door alone without worrying about encountering a calamity. After Savage entered the world behind the primal chaos door, the primal chaos door quickly tore through the void and disappeared without a trace. The rest of the great emperors quickly chased after the primal chaos door. Until now, they still hadn't found a way to enter the primal chaos door. It wasn't an easy task to enter the primal chaos door. It seems like these great emperors don't have anything else in their eyes other than entering the primal chaos door. Lin Feng couldn't help but ponder. These great emperors weren't even willing to fight for the treasures that flew out from the primal chaos door because they were worried that they would be left far behind when fighting for those treasures. Lin Feng didn't care about the primal chaos door and the great emperors that had disappeared. He continued to chase after the treasure that he had locked onto. He didn't know what the thing that flew out from the primal chaos door was. Lin Feng's speed was extremely fast. He was gradually catching up to the treasure. Lin Feng took out the devouring black hole and wanted to collect the treasure that was wrapped in the light ball. However, at this moment, the treasure suddenly pierced through the void and disappeared without a trace. Did it become a spirit? Lin Feng couldn't help but mutter. He quickly pierced through the void and chased after it. He had already locked onto the treasure's aura. Hence, he wasn't afraid that the treasure could escape from his pursuit. In the end, Lin Feng caught up with the treasure in a forest. He punched it with his demon ancestor's holy punch, and it crashed onto the treasure. The treasure was sent flying by Lin Feng. Then, Lin Feng grabbed the treasure. Gotcha! He directly grabbed the treasure in his hand. Then, Lin Feng's face revealed an extremely shocked expression. He could feel an exuberant life force surging out of the treasure, and then the exuberant life force entered his body. At this moment, Lin Feng found that the sapling of the builder tree in his dantian seemed to have come to life. The light that enveloped the treasure dissipated, and the treasure appeared in front of Lin Feng. Lin Feng looked over and immediately discovered that it was actually a piece of wood. Jianmu! Lin Feng was shocked. This treasure was actually a palm-sized piece of builder wood. It truly shocked him. Ever since the Jianmu tree was destroyed, the huge Jianmu tree had died. From then on, the builder tree disappeared from the world. The creation wood fragments that occasionally appeared were all creation wood fragments that had lost their life force. In his early years, Lin Feng had accidentally obtained a builder wood fragment that contained vitality. Then, Lin Feng had nurtured that builder wood fragment into a sapling of the builder wood tree. The sapling of the builder tree could produce powerful life force. Lin Feng's lifespan was much longer than others. Firstly, it was related to his bloodline, and secondly, it was related to the sapling of the builder tree. In addition, the sapling of the builder tree could continuously absorb the spirit energy of heaven and earth to nourish Lin Feng's body. The spirit energy of heaven and earth was constantly nourishing Lin Feng's body and improving Lin Feng's body. It made his physical body even more powerful. Of course, one of the abilities that Lin Feng liked the most about the sapling of the builder tree was that it could continuously devour the qi of heaven and earth. And this qi of heaven and earth would eventually be absorbed by Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng was a person with great luck. The reason why his luck was so strong. It was inseparable from the sapling of the builder tree. The growth of the builder tree was extremely difficult. Lin Feng guessed that in order for the sapling of the builder tree to grow, the sapling of the builder tree would need to devour the builder tree. Lin Feng needed the sapling to absorb the vitality of the supreme builder tree. Lin Feng hadn't been able to find any supreme builder tree fragments before. But now, Lin Feng actually obtained such a fragment of the builder tree. This made Lin Feng very happy. Great! I wonder if the sapling of the builder tree can evolve? Lin Feng could not help but think. He quickly left and found a place to let the sapling devour the fragment of the builder tree. Whoosh! However, Just as Lin Feng was about to leave, a terrifying arrow pierced through the void and shot toward Lin Feng's chest. The speed of the arrow was simply too fast. Lin Feng could not dodge it. Just as the arrow was about to pierce through Lin Feng's chest, Lin Feng grabbed the arrow in his hand. He looked around coldly and said, "Who is it? Come out." At this time, a group of cultivators quickly flew out. The leading cultivator was holding a huge bow in his hand. "Kid, your strength is not bad. You actually managed to catch this young master's arrow with your bare hands. In that case, this young master will spare your life. Now, hand over the treasure you obtained. After that, you can scram." The young master looked at Lin Feng indifferently. His tone was arrogant and contemptuous. Lin Feng sneered. "You think too highly of yourself. Do you know that you have offended someone you can't afford to offend today? Just you? A giant god cultivator?" The leading young master laughed disdainfully. "Ha ha! Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself in the mirror? You actually dare to boast so shamelessly. Kid, do you not want to live anymore? Don't be so shameless. Hurry up and hand over the treasure. Otherwise, you will die a horrible death today." Immediately, the group of cultivators sneered and looked at Lin Feng with killing intent. There were quite a few experts among these people. There were at least 8 half-emperors there, and 3 or 4 of them were high-level half-emperors. They didn't care about Lin Feng at all. Lin Feng glanced at the group of people indifferently. He took out his black flame bow and said coldly, "You're about to die, yet you're still so full of yourself. You're simply courting death." After saying that, Lin Feng drew his bow and shot an arrow. Swish, 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 one energy arrow after another was shot out by Lin Feng. As Lin Feng's cultivation base increased, the power of the black flame bow also increased. The terrifying energy arrows pierced through the void at an incredible speed, arriving before the group of cultivators in an instant. Dodge quickly. The group of cultivators could not help but feel shocked and furious at the same time. They did not expect Lin Feng to suddenly attack. However, not everyone managed to dodge Lin Feng's energy arrows. Poochie! Poochie! Lin Feng locked onto a cultivator who had reached the 40th step of the stone steps. He quickly rushed over and attacked with the demon ancestor's sacred fist. The cultivator's expression changed abruptly. He quickly used his fist to block Lin Feng's attack. Bang! The two sides collided fiercely. The cultivator who had reached the 40th step of the stone steps was killed by Lin Feng with a single punch. His body directly exploded. So powerful! Everyone was shocked. They knew that they had underestimated Lin Feng's combat strength. However, they definitely did not expect Lin Feng to be so terrifying. He killed a quasi-emperor cultivator who had reached the 40th step of the stone steps with a single move. How terrifying was this person's cultivation level? "We are from the luminous moon great world. This is the son of the Heavenly Inquisition Emperor sect of the luminous moon great world. How about we each take a step back today?" One of the powerhouses shouted in a deep voice. At this moment, he had brought up the luminous moon great world and an expert from the Emperor's sect in order to intimidate Lin Feng. The Emperor's sect was a 7th-layer great emperor. An existence of this level was definitely an overlord in the Star River world. It was no wonder this young master had no regard for human life. His background was simply too extraordinary. "Now retreat! This young master can let bygones be bygones," the young master said indifferently with his hands behind his back. He believed that anyone who heard of his origin would be fearful. They did not dare to continue fighting. Chapter 2904. In fact, the Emperor's sect's son was extremely angry and aggrieved when he said these words. His father was an Emperor's sect-level existence. As the son of an Emperor's sect, who dared to provoke him? But now, they were facing such a dangerous situation. Of course, this person knew how great the threat of an Emperor's sect was. When he mentioned his father's reputation, No one dared to continue to attack him. Back then, when he was training outside, he killed a descendant of an immortal emperor. This angered that immortal emperor, and he personally hunted him down. At that time, he had used his father's reputation. Not only did that immortal emperor let him go, but he also apologized to him. Although this matter had happened many years ago, it was still vivid in his mind. And what was this kid in front of him? Could he compare to an immortal emperor-level expert? In front of an immortal emperor, he was just an ant. Therefore, the emperor's sex's son believed that Lin Feng knew what to do. Moreover, the emperor's sex's son planned to leave and bring experts over to kill Lin Feng. How could he swallow the humiliation he suffered today? Naturally, he had to take revenge. Is the emperor's sex's son so great? This is the chaos ancient country. If I kill you, your emperor's sex's father might not know. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He already had the intention to kill these people. He definitely couldn't let these people leave. And Lin Feng knew. Now, the enmity between the two sides had been formed. Letting these people leave was like letting the tiger return to the mountain. These people would definitely find an opportunity to deal with him. Since they had already formed enmity, he would just kill them. So what if this person's emperor's sex's father knew? When the time came, his emperor's sex's father wouldn't make a move on the surface. He wouldn't even make a move himself. An emperor's sex's son dealing with a giant god realm cultivator? If word got out, he would become the laughing stock of the world. Perhaps he would send some experts to deal with him. There was no need to be afraid. He could use those people to temper his cultivation. Thinking of this, Lin Feng no longer hesitated. He locked onto another cultivator and directly charged over. You dare to make a move? The emperor's sex's son couldn't help but roar. He didn't expect that even after using his father, he still couldn't scare off Lin Feng. It really made him both shocked and angry. Don't think that others will be afraid of you just because you have a desect master as your father. If I reveal my identity, who do you think your father is? Lin Feng couldn't help but sneer. Needless to say, Lin Feng's mother was from the Sovereign Emperor clan, one of the most powerful and noble clans in this epoch. Although his father's clan had already begun to decline, in his generation, his father had received the fate of heaven and earth and had become the child of destiny, rising once again. Lin Feng didn't know how powerful his father was now. However, since he was the child of destiny, he was definitely not someone a mere emperor's sect could compare to. In terms of status, how many people in the myriad heavens could be compared to Lin Feng? Calling others a lowly race was just a display of lack of confidence. Or perhaps they wanted to cover up the downfall of their race. Boom! Lin Feng was like a supreme fiend god that ruled over this world. He punched another cultivator who had reached the 40th step. I'll fight you to the death! The cultivator had a ferocious look on his face. Dense scales appeared on his arms. It was unknown what kind of powerful divine ability he was using. The powerful punch flew directly toward Lin Feng. Bang! The two sides collided. It was the same as the previous cultivator. This cultivator was also sent flying by Lin Feng's punch. Barf! The cultivator opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood. The blood was mixed with shattered internal organs. This cultivator was also killed by Lin Feng's punch. In the blink of an eye, 2 experts were killed by Lin Feng. Only 4 people remained. These 4 people rushed outside. They wanted to escape. Swoosh! Lin Feng used the 1 chi into 3 pure one's divine ability and split into 3. The 9 layers of chi superimposed on the magnetic field. The magnetic field's power increased greatly. The 4 of them were suppressed too much, and their speed was greatly reduced once again. Who exactly are you? A cultivator looked at Lin Feng in horror. In their eyes, the human race was a lowly race. It was rare for such a heaven-defying character to appear. But now, they actually encountered such a heaven-defying and terrifying existence. They were too unlucky. Lin Feng of the human race! Lin Feng said with an indifferent expression. What? You're that rumored Lin Feng? The 4 people's expressions changed suddenly. Lin Feng's name. Who in the world didn't know of him? Lin Feng was considered the #1 genius of the human race. His combat strength was extremely terrifying. Not long ago, he killed 2 experts, Jin Xianzhao and Qin Daowen. However, many people had heard of Lin Feng. But there were too few people who had seen Lin Feng. "We've really kicked an iron plate." The 4 people felt bitter. "Lin Feng! As long as you let us go, we'll agree to any conditions," the son of the Emperor's sect said. "I just want your lives," Lin Feng said with an indifferent expression. The 3 Lin Fengs locked onto the 2 quasi-emperor cultivators who had climbed above the 60th stone step and the 50th stone step respectively. Boom! A great battle broke out. Both sides instantly engaged in a fierce battle. These 3 people were not Lin Feng's match. Moreover, they were suppressed by the magnetic field formed by the 9 layers of hockey. It was already good enough that they could unleash 30 to 40% of their strength. In addition, their speed was suppressed too much. It was even more impossible for them to be Lin Feng's match. Pooh! 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 The sound of flesh being torn apart rang out one after another. The 3 experts were all killed by Lin Feng. At this moment, the son of the Emperor's sect rushed out of the magnetic field formed by Lin Feng and quickly flew into the distance. Now, he only wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. He wanted to find an expert. When the time came, he would capture Lin Feng. Cut him into pieces. The son of the Emperor's sect could not help but think viciously in his heart. "You can't escape. Today, this place will be your burial ground." Lin Feng stepped on the 8 directional worlds and quickly chased after him. His expression was indifferent, revealing an incomparably cold killing intent. Seeing Lin Feng chasing after him, the son of the Emperor's sect was filled with fear. Lin Feng's speed was too fast. He was about to catch up with him. "Lin Feng, are you really going to kill me? Why don't we both take a step back and be at peace?" The son of the Emperor's sect shouted sternly. "What a joke! You must be thinking of finding an expert to kill me after you leave this place. Now you're actually saying this to me. Don't you feel ashamed? It's useless to say anything more. Today I'll kill you." Chapter 2905. Go to Hell. Facing Lin Feng's attack, the son of the Emperor's sect suddenly took out a jade talisman. The jade talisman shattered. Then, a world-destroying aura spread out. A ferocious shadow condensed and formed. It was a mysterious existence, surrounded by endless holy light. He wore a loose robe and a crown on his head. "Lowly ant, how dare you attack a cultivator of my luminous moon great world? You're courting death!" The existence's voice was cold and filled with endless killing intent. Then, he slammed a palm towards Lin Feng. After being enveloped by the terrifying attack, Lin Feng suddenly felt like he had fallen into hell. Lin Feng didn't know who this existence was, but he was definitely an unimaginably powerful expert. He might even be the father of this guy in front of him, the great emperor of the Heavens Inquisition Emperor sect. "I've been waiting for this opportunity to kill you. Kid, you can die now." The son of the Emperor's sect let out a sinister voice. He had been waiting for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to deal with Lin Feng. He had to wait until Lin Feng was close to him before he could take out this jade talisman to deal with Lin Feng. Because Lin Feng had too many tricks up his sleeve, the son of the Emperor's sect was worried that he wouldn't be able to kill Lin Feng with this jade talisman if he was too far away from Lin Feng. Of course, the son of the Emperor's sect was really running away. If he could escape, it would be even better. Then, he wouldn't have to use this precious jade talisman. If he couldn't escape, then he could only use this jade talisman to kill Lin Feng. Now that he had taken out this jade talisman at such a close distance, the son of the Emperor's sect was extremely confident in killing Lin Feng. The attack of the great Emperor's shadow couldn't be avoided at all. The void was sealed, and the heaven patching technique lost its effect. However, Lin Feng still had a powerful ability, and it was the Great Death Substitution technique. When that terrifying attack landed on Lin Feng, Lin Feng used the Great Death Substitution technique. This attack did not manage to kill Lin Feng because the Great Death Substitution art took his place. Lin Feng appeared 20 meters away. How is this possible? The son of the Emperor's sect stared at the scene in disbelief. The Great Death Substitution technique had actually failed to kill Lin Feng. Just how many terrifying methods does this guy have? The son of the D sect didn't even think before he turned around and ran. The Great Emperor Phantom continued to attack Lin Feng. This Great Emperor Phantom was extremely terrifying. If they couldn't deal with it quickly, the child of the D sect would definitely be able to escape. Lin Feng naturally didn't want this person to escape. He immediately summoned the Heavenly Profound Pagoda. This defensive monarch weapon emitted rays of divine light that protected Lin Feng's body. At the same time, Lin Feng summoned 2 stone swords. With the 2 stone swords in hand, he quickly charged towards the Great Emperor Phantom. The 2 sides immediately engaged in a fierce battle. With the Heavenly Profound Pagoda protecting him, Lin Feng didn't have the slightest bit of defense. The Great Emperor Phantom's attack landed on Lin Feng's body, but it didn't cause any harm to Lin Feng. However, Lin Feng's 2 stone swords caused great damage to the Great Emperor Phantom. The 2 stone swords vibrated with terrifying power, emitting terrifying divine power. Their offensive power was extremely strong. It was simply unheard of. 9 consecutive attacks. The Great Emperor Phantom was torn apart by Lin Feng's 2 stone swords. Then, Lin Feng quickly chased after the fleeing son of the D sect. The son of the D sect fled for more than 2 hours. However, Lin Feng still caught up to him. Lin Feng wielded the stone sword and directly slashed towards the son of the D sect. The son of the D sect summoned a defensive magic treasure to block the might of Lin Feng's stone sword. However, it was completely useless. Lin Feng's stone sword directly destroyed the defensive magic treasure of the son of the D sect. Then, the son of the D sect was killed on the spot. Lin Feng kept the storage ring of the son of the D sect. Then, he summoned his heavenly fire and burned the body of the son of the D sect to ashes. Then, he quickly left. He found a quiet place and carefully inspected the items in the storage ring. As expected of the son of the D sect, he had many treasures on him. There were more than 10 quasi-emperor level magic treasures. However, there weren't any emperor level magic treasures. Emperor level magic treasures were simply too rare. The main reason was that the materials were hard to find. Hence, it was impossible to forge such a magic treasure. One must know that even many great emperors didn't have an emperor-level magic treasure. It wasn't that they couldn't forge such a magic treasure. It was that they couldn't find the materials to forge it. In addition to various magic treasures, Lin Feng also saw a mountain of peerless origin crystals, various heaven and earth treasures, immortal iron, divine stone, and so on. This guy was really rich. However, Lin Feng didn't find any divine ability inheritance. This was also within his expectations. Hence, he wasn't disappointed. Lin Feng found some books that introduced the Bright Moon Great World. These books also introduced some experts of the Bright Moon Great World. The Bright Moon Great World was in the Bright Moon star field. It would take 10 years to travel to the 9 prefectures by using the Starry Sky teleportation array. It could be said that it was extremely far away from the 9 prefectures. The son of the D sect and this group of people came to the 9 prefectures during the outer space voyage. Hence, Lin Feng didn't have to worry about the revenge of the Bright Moon Great World. It would take time for the news of him killing the son of the D sect to reach the Bright Moon Great World. It would also take time for the experts of the Bright Moon Great World to arrive. Hence, it would take at least 20 years for the experts of the Bright Moon Great World to arrive. At that time, he might have already left the 9 prefectures. Hence, he didn't have to worry about the revenge of the Bright Moon Great World. This guy's father is an D-sect expert. Yet, he isn't even ranked in the top 10 of the Bright Moon Great World. There are actually so many experts in the Bright Moon Great World. Lin Feng couldn't help but feel shocked. On this day, Wu Liang Taoist came looking for Lin Feng. Lin Feng already knew that Wu Liang Taoist had a way to find him. Moreover, he would definitely come looking for him. That was because Wu Liang Taoist was very interested in the life and death art. He still hadn't obtained the cultivation method of the life and death art from Lin Feng. Naturally, he would come looking for Lin Feng. What did you get? Wu Liang Taoist couldn't help but ask when he saw Lin Feng. He wanted to know what kind of treasure Lin Feng had obtained. What did you get? Lin Feng didn't answer. Instead, he asked. Something ordinary. It has no value. Wu Liang Taoist prevaricated. This guy clearly wasn't telling the truth. Lin Feng said. I got a piece of rotten wood. It also has no value. Rotten wood? Show it to me. Wu Liang Taoist's eyes immediately turned. I threw it away, Lin Feng said. Wu Liang Taoist rolled his eyes. He knew that Lin Feng didn't want to show it to him. Thus, he didn't say anything. The two of them headed to the place mentioned by Wu Liang Taoist. On the way, they encountered the great emperor of the fallen angel race. His body was covered with red hair. He looked sinister and terrifying. Chapter 2906. Previously, Lin Feng had fought with this fallen angel emperor once. Back then, Lin Feng had relied on his physical strength to injure this fallen angel emperor. This was because, in terms of pure physical strength, this fallen angel emperor had no way of contending against Lin Feng. But in terms of pure physical strength, Lin Feng had no way of contending against this fallen angel emperor. Right now, the fallen angel emperor had a torrential amount of energy. Channeling his energy, he channeled his powerful mystic skills and charged towards Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang. What sort of monster is this? Looking at the fallen angel emperor, Taoist Wu Liang could not help but exclaim. Right now, this fallen angel emperor was covered in red fur. He was indeed a terrifying monster. His entire body was emitting a sinister aura. He was like a demon that had crawled out from the depths of hell. Those strands of red hair involuntarily gave people a hair-raising feeling. This is a great emperor of the fallen angel race. I don't know what happened to him, but now his body is covered with red hair, Lin Feng said solemnly. As he spoke, he retreated rapidly. Even though this fallen angel emperor's battle prowess had decreased significantly after turning into a red-furred monster, he was still an emperor-level existence. When he channeled his energy and channeled his mystic skills, he was still not someone that Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang could contend against. Lin Feng and the boundless Taoist priest dodged the attack of the fallen angel clan's great emperor and turned around to escape. There was no need for them to continue fighting with this fallen angel emperor who had turned into a red-furred monster. That would not do them any good. Furthermore, if they were not careful, they might fall in the hands of this fallen angel emperor. The fallen angel emperor chased after Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang relentlessly. It seemed as though he would not rest until he killed the two of them. However, in the midst of chasing after Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang, he met with another group of cultivators. The heavenly emperor of the fallen angel tribe charged towards the group of cultivators. Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang made use of this opportunity to escape the pursuit of the fallen angel emperor. To think that a great emperor would turn into such a terrifying monster! Just what happened back then? How could you make him like this? Immeasurable Taoist frowned. He felt that there was something fishy about this matter. It was truly bizarre to the extreme. I'm not sure. Perhaps only the emperor of the fallen angel race knows what happened back then, Lin Feng said. The two of them quickly left the area. 3 days later, Lin Feng and Wu Liang Taoist arrived at the place mentioned by Wu Liang Taoist. This place was called the Hidden Dragon Territory. Looking into the distance, a huge mountain ridge appeared in their line of sight. The mountain ridge lay between heaven and earth, exuding a special aura. That aura was like an extremely high-level oppressive might. The sight of that mountain gave people the urge to prostrate themselves in worship. The entire mountain range. He was like a sleeping dragon. The mountain ridge is like a dragon. This place is extraordinary. It contains an enormous dragon vein, Lin Feng said. Taoist Wu Liang said. This dragon vein was not formed naturally. It was formed after birth. Oh? How do you know? Lin Feng asked. Look at the surrounding terrain. Forests and ancient trees are everywhere. Isn't this place slightly lower than the surroundings? Wu Liang Taoist said. Lin Feng observed carefully and found that it was indeed so. He couldn't help but ask, what does this mean? Natural dragon veins have a body like a mountain. In other words, natural dragon veins expand outwards. This place should be higher than the surrounding areas. Postnatal dragon veins have a body like a valley. In other words, postnatal dragon veins will gradually sink in and look like a valley. This is the difference between natural and postnatal dragon veins, Wu Liang Taoist explained. This place can't be considered a valley, right? Lin Feng said. It can't be considered a valley, but with this sign, it might become one in a few years. Let's go down and take a look. We'll know what the situation is like inside, Wu Liang Taoist said. Lin Feng nodded and entered the underground world with Wu Liang Taoist. Lin Feng had grasped the Great Earth Elemental Art, so he could travel freely underground. Although Wu Liang Taoist hadn't grasped the Great Earth Elemental Art, he had grasped a similar ability. It could also easily penetrate the ground. The best tomb robbers usually knew how to travel underground. They didn't destroy a single blade of grass or tree above the tomb. They didn't even want to destroy a single rock or stone above the tomb. They quietly entered the tomb. They could steal treasures and leave. Even when they were robbing tombs, they could hide from everyone. If someone came to patrol, they wouldn't know what was going on underground. Only a few average grave robbers would be able to make such a big commotion or leave behind clues. Lin Feng and Wu Liang Taoist traveled about 30,000 meters underground. Then, they saw an energy barrier appear in the underground rock stratum. The two of them entered the energy barrier and saw a huge cave. It was an underground cave, and it was extremely dark. Outside the cave was a huge stone tablet with 2 lines of words written on it. Ancestral dragon roars to the 9 heavens. Billions of ancient gods roars to the 8 directions. What does this mean? Lin Feng couldn't help but frown and read those 2 lines carefully. Wu Liang Taoist said, Ancestral dragons are the supreme beings of the dragon race. It is said that in this epoch, only 3 ancestral dragons were born. Ancestral dragons are extremely mysterious existences. Now that this stone tablet has the words ancestral dragon on it, could it be that this place is where an ancestral dragon is buried? Lin Feng was shocked by Wu Liang Taoist's words. Ancestral dragons were extremely terrifying existences. They should be existences on the same level as Pangu, Niwa, Fire God Jerome, Water God Gongong, Dijiang, Grand Supreme, Fairy of the 9 Heavens, 3 Sovereigns, Qiyu, Flame Emperor, and so on. They were definitely extremely ancient existences. Perhaps they could be considered one of the oldest existences in this epoch. If this place was really the tomb of an ancestral dragon, it would be too shocking. Let's go in and take a look, Wu Liang Taoist said. Lin Feng and Wu Liang Taoist entered the cave. The cave was extremely deep, and it emitted a cold aura. After entering the cave, the two were extremely cautious. Not long after, the tunnel gradually widened, and an underground world appeared in their line of sight. This underground world had become much wider. Boom! Suddenly, cultivators appeared in the void and attacked Lin Feng and Wu Liang Taoist. There were 2 people attacking in total. They were an old man and a young man. Both of them were extremely powerful. Bang! Lin Feng and the young cultivator exchanged a blow, and he was sent flying. Taoist Wu Liang exchanged a blow with the old man and was also sent flying by the old man. Wu Liang Taoist, you mother ****. Who dares to sneak attack me? Wu Liang Taoist cursed loudly. At this moment, Lin Feng clearly saw the appearance of the man he was fighting. Chapter 2907. It was a very familiar face, but it was also a face that Lin Feng had never expected. Huangfu Qintian. It was a name that Lin Feng had almost forgotten. He was Lin Feng's eldest senior brother in the Tianwu continent, but there was no master or disciple relationship between them. There was only hatred. Lin Feng was extremely lucky to have killed Huang Fuqing Tian in a life-and-death battle, but unfortunately, the corpse was taken away by the people of Huang Fuqing Tian's mother. However, Huang Fuqing Tian's soul had been completely destroyed at that time. Lin Feng remembered this clearly. Generally speaking, when a cultivator's soul was destroyed, he would be completely dead. This was because the soul was the foundation of a cultivator. Once the soul was destroyed, the cultivator's life would naturally follow. Huang Fuqing Tian was Lin Feng's greatest enemy in the early stage of his cultivation, but Lin Feng had never imagined that Huang Fuqing Tian would appear in front of him again. What an incredible thing that happened in front of him! Lin Feng did not know the cultivator beside Huang Fuqing Tian, but he seemed to be with Huang Fuqing Tian. Perhaps they were from the same faction. Are you surprised? Huang Fuqing Tian looked at Lin Feng and asked calmly. Are you really Huang Fuqing Tian? Lin Feng frowned. He had been wondering whether this guy who looked exactly like Huang Fuqing Tian was Huang Fuqing Tian or not. Now, he was finally sure. This person was Huang Fuqing Tian. He should have been dead, but now he had appeared in front of him. Lin Feng didn't understand what was going on. How did Huang Fuqing Tian come back to life? Could it be? Lin Feng thought of another possibility. That method seemed to be called the soul reconstruction technique. It could create a new soul and inject some memories into it. Could it be that Huang Fuqing Tian was also created using this method? If that was the case, the Huang Fuqing Tian in front of him was not the original Huang Fuqing Tian. It was said that the reconstructed soul was flawed and would lose a lot of memories. Huang Fuqing Tian said. Of course, I'm the real Huang Fuqing Tian. I'm back. Lin Feng sneered and said. So what if he's back? Since I was able to kill you back then, I have a way to kill you a second time. Huang Fuqing Tian sneered and said. Lin Feng, I should have killed you in that battle. If I hadn't fallen into your trap, how could I have lost to you? Plotting? Lin Feng could not help but sneer as he said. How laughable! I openly used a soul technique against you, yet your own soul technique was unable to withstand my attack. You actually found an excuse to say that you were ambushed. It seems you have become a flawed fellow after being reforged. You're no longer the Huang Fuqing Tian I know. In other words, you're an imposter. You're not Huang Fuqing Tian at all. When Huang Fuqing Tian heard Lin Feng's mockery, he didn't get angry. He said indifferently, I'm not the same as before. I'm much stronger now. Besides, I've already awakened my blood 3 times. My twin blood is even more powerful now. Killing you won't be a problem. Having said that, Huang Fuqing Tian attacked Lin Feng again. Boom! Terrifying fluctuations swept across the world. Huang Fuqing Tian's fist swept towards Lin Feng. Phantoms of gods and Buddhas appeared behind him. At this moment, Huang Fuqing Tian seemed to have turned into the representative of thousands of gods and Buddhas, the embodiment of the vicissitudes of the righteous path between heaven and earth. Anyone who saw Huang Fuqing Tian shrouded in sacred light would feel a sense of worship. They would want nothing more than to kneel on the ground and kowtow before praying devoutly. Humph! Lin Feng sneered and swept his fist towards Huang Fuqing Tian. He used the demon ancestor's sacred fist. Demonic mist billowed behind Lin Feng. An illusory figure could be vaguely seen standing in the void. The illusory figure was ancient and immortal, but it emitted endless demonic power. Huang Fuqing Tian seemed to represent the righteousness of the world, while Lin Feng was the embodiment of evil. One was righteous and the other was demonic. They collided together. Terrifying energy waves swept across the world and surged out, shattering the surrounding void. Huang Fuqing Tian stepped on the sacred light as he walked over. If I'm the ruler, I'll judge you, a sinner, and you'll fall into hell forever. Huang Fuqing Tian continued to attack Lin Feng. He reached out and gently tapped at Lin Feng. Suddenly, a powerful judgment force surged out and enveloped Lin Feng. This was the Great Judgment Art. One of the 3,000 Great Taos. An extremely terrifying Great Tao. When the judgment force enveloped Lin Feng, a voice seemed to resound in his mind. You are a sinful person. Being judged is your end, and also your final destination. The voice carried endless bewitching power, trying to make Lin Feng give up resisting. You're messing with my mind. You're delusional. Lin Feng looked indifferent. He stepped out, and the sovereign emperor blood in his body awakened. Sovereign judgment! Lin Feng opened his hand and slapped at Huangfu Qingtian. Boundless sovereign power surged out and shrouded Huangfu Qingtian rapidly. This was an ability Lin Feng obtained from the sovereign emperor blood. It was also a divine ability based on the judgment force, and it was not inferior to the great judgment art. Bang! Along with the sound of violent collisions, Lin Feng and Huangfu Qingtian collided again. This time, both of them retreated 3 meters away. Huangfu Qingtian's cultivation had indeed improved by leaps and bounds, and he was many times stronger than before. However, it was still not easy to defeat Lin Feng. Of course, Huangfu Qingtian didn't use his skills either. Lin Feng didn't use his skills either. Very well! It would be too boring if I killed you in a few moves, said Huangfu Qingtian, looking at Lin Feng indifferently. He looked proud and unruly. Boom! At this moment, a violent fluctuation surged out from the depths. This fluctuation attracted everyone's attention. Stop fighting. There seems to be a change in the depths. Let's go take a look, the old man said in a deep voice. Huangfu Qingtian nodded and coldly glanced at Lin Feng. I'll spare your life this time. If you know what's good for you, you should escape as far as you can. When the opportunity comes, you won't be able to escape even if you want to. Chapter 2908. No matter if it was the previous Huangfu Qingtian or the current Huangfu Qingtian, they both seemed to have a characteristic, that was, they were extremely arrogant. This kind of arrogance seemed to emanate from his bones. Even if his soul was reconstructed, this arrogance did not disappear. Lin Feng even felt that the current Huangfu Qingtian was even more arrogant than before. Of course, Huangfu Qingtian was very powerful, so he had the right to be arrogant. When Lin Feng heard Huangfu Qingtian's threat, he didn't think about it at all. If they really fought, Lin Feng was not afraid of Huangfu Qingtian. As Lin Feng said before, since he could kill Huangfu Qingtian once, he could do it again. He was extremely lucky to kill Huangfu Qingtian last time. But this time, Lin Feng was extremely confident in his strength. He believed that he would not be so embarrassed after killing Huangfu Qingtian as before. Let's go in and have a look, Lin Feng said. Taoist Wu Liang nodded and rushed into the depths with Lin Feng. Taoist Wu Liang said, Huangfu Qingtian's cultivation is terrifying, but that old bastard's cultivation may be even more terrifying. The old bastard mentioned by Taoist Wu Liang naturally referred to the old man beside Huangfu Qingtian. That old man was indeed terrifying. Lin Feng felt that the old man should be a cultivator who had climbed to the 99th step. Moreover, he should have been immersed in the 99th step for many years. For such a long time, he had been accumulating his cultivation because the old man's combat strength was extremely terrifying. Not to mention a powerful cultivator. Even if it was a blade of grass, a tree, or even a pig. If he cultivated for tens of thousands of years, he would probably become an extremely powerful existence. When one's realm remained at a certain level for many years without a breakthrough, his combat strength had been improving all the time. This was the so-called accumulation, said Lin Feng. Let's see if there are any treasures. If there are, we won't be able to avoid a battle, Taoist Wu Liang said. You deal with your old rival, Huangfu Qingtian, and I'll deal with that old bastard. The immeasurable Taoist had always liked to pick on soft persimmons. Now, this guy knew how powerful that old man was. It was out of Lin Feng's expectations that he would take the initiative to deal with the old man. Of course, perhaps it was because the immeasurable Taoist didn't have a choice. If a battle really broke out, then Huangfu Qingtian's threat wasn't inferior to the old man. Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang also arrived at the depths. At the deepest location was a huge doubt platform. The void around this doubt platform was distorted. The doubt platform was made of a type of cyan stone. This type of cyan stone was very ancient. It exuded a mysterious power. This was an extremely rare stone, and it was definitely a material that could be used to forge top-notch supreme treasures. Normally, finding such a stone was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. But today, someone had used such a large piece of rock to create a platform. The platform was circular in shape and had a diameter of about 10 meters. There were densely packed runes on the doubt platform. The center was indistinctly divided into yin and yang by a Tai Chi line. The old man and Huangfu Qingtian stood not far away and watched the doubt platform. When Huangfu Qingtian saw that Lin Feng and Taoist Wu Liang had also arrived, his eyes were filled with killing intent. Lin Feng ignored Huangfu Qingtian. He and Taoist Wu Liang stood beside the doubt platform and observed the mysterious doubt platform. In fact, Lin Feng had seen various types of doubt platforms over the years, but none of them could be compared to the one in front of him. In terms of the material used to create the doubt platform, it couldn't be compared. Moreover, the runes on the doubt platform were too mysterious and complicated. "The runes on it are extraordinary," Taoist Wu Liang said solemnly. Lin Feng looked at the runes on the doubt platform. He tried to comprehend the runes, but he felt a stabbing pain in his head. The runes were so extraordinary that he couldn't comprehend them at all. If he tried, he would definitely suffer a calamity. Lin Feng quickly stopped comprehending the runes and said, "It's indeed extraordinary. I wonder what secrets this doubt platform hides." Lin Feng observed the doubt platform for a while and said, "Look at this place. Does it look like an ancient tomb? It's not easy to make a conclusion now. Let's wait and see if there are any changes to the doubt platform," Taoist Wu Liang said. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Suddenly, some cultivators flew over from afar. They were 3 cultivators in green robes and bamboo hats. They didn't reveal their faces, so no one knew who they were. After arriving, the 3 of them began to observe the doubt platform. They were experts who must have received the news and rushed here. No one knew how Taoist Wu Liang found out about the ancient tomb here. However, it was clear that he wasn't the only one who knew about it. Not long after the 3 green-robed cultivators arrived, more people arrived. This time, there were more than a dozen experts from outside the realm. Among them, there were 2 old men who had terrifying and unfathomable strength. Whoosh, 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 more and more cultivators arrived, and many of them had extremely powerful cultivation bases. Experts from the myriad races, the races outside the realm, and other foreign forces all arrived. Lin Feng also saw 2 familiar faces, Qing Emperor and Little Stone King. They were also here. Qing Emperor and Little Stone King also saw Lin Feng. Qing Emperor nodded at Lin Feng, while Little Stone King sneered. Many experts followed Gong Nia when he arrived, but he kept a low profile. He didn't react even when he saw Lin Feng. It was as if there was no grudge between him and Lin Feng. "Damn! Why are there so many experts here? Where did you find out about the ancient tomb here?" Lin Feng asked in a low voice. "Someone is peddling information. I bought it. I didn't expect that bastard to sell it to so many people," Taoist Wu Liang said through gritted teeth. The corner of Lin Feng's mouth twitched when he heard Taoist Wu Liang's words. Lin Feng originally thought that even if someone knew about the ancient tomb here, there shouldn't be too many people. However, he didn't expect Taoist Wu Liang to be the one who bought it. It was no wonder that so many cultivators came here. There were already 200 to 300 people gathered here, and there were still cultivators arriving. Not long after, the son of the Sky Demon Emperor also arrived. Chapter 2909. The arrival of the Celestial Demon Emperor's son attracted quite a bit of attention. Back when the Celestial Demon Emperor was still alive, the myriad races had all submitted to him. In the past, the myriad races had merely been his subordinates. If the Celestial Demon Emperor were still alive, he would have had to address the celestial demon emperor's son as his young master. However, the era of the celestial demon emperor had long since passed. Among the myriad races, there weren't many who truly followed the celestial demon emperor's son. Of course, this didn't affect the celestial demon emperor's son's status among the myriad races. Now, out of respect for the heavenly demon emperor, the myriad races still treated the heavenly demon emperor's son with respect. However, if the celestial demon emperor's son wanted to command the myriad races to do something for him, it would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens. The heavenly demon emperor's son was very clear about this. Therefore, the heavenly demon emperor's son had a sense of propriety, and treated the myriad races in harmony. Moreover, he had never ordered the myriad races to do anything for him. Although the celestial demon emperor's son was incomparably arrogant, he was actually a man of great wisdom. His arrogance stemmed from his powerful bloodline and strength. "Prince! Look, it's Lin Feng!" The witch pointed at Lin Feng, who was standing in a different direction. The celestial demon emperor's son looked in Lin Feng's direction. When he saw Lin Feng, a cold glint flashed through his eyes. The celestial demon emperor's son naturally wanted nothing more than to kill Lin Feng right now, but he knew that now wasn't the time to kill Lin Feng. With so many experts gathered here, if they really fought with Lin Feng, even if they killed Lin Feng, the celestial demon emperor's son wouldn't be able to obtain the celestial demon emperor's son. Would they be able to obtain Lin Feng's legacies, treasures, and wealth? That wasn't necessarily the case. When the time came, many people would fight over them. So many experts would fight over them. It was hard to say who would end up with the treasures. Moreover, compared to killing Lin Feng, the celestial demon emperor's son was more interested in the Tao platform. "The Tao platform is very ancient, and the runes seem to be innate runes," a cultivator said, having studied the runes on the platform. "There are many types of innate runes. Can you tell which type it belongs to?" another asked. "It looks like innate dragon runes," the cultivator said. "Dragon runes?" The stone stele outside mentioned the dragon ancestor. Dragon is. There were 3 ancestral dragons in the Xiantian era. If the Tao altar is related to the ancestral dragons, then which one of them is it related to? A cultivator asked, raising the doubts in his heart. The Tao platform was extraordinary, and it hid a great secret. If it really had something to do with the ancestral dragon, then maybe something shocking would appear. This S runes. Said time said. Al said emperor's been in the Dao, eh? This Guan Yuanzi possessed remarkable abilities and had a deep understanding of restrictions, formations, and so on. Although he was a human from 9 provinces, he was on good terms with the myriad races, extraterrestrial races, and other external forces. The cultivators from the 3 forces clearly knew of Master Guan Yuan's capabilities. When they saw him, many of them greeted him. "Boundless Tao venerate his ancestors. This guy is obviously a fake Taoist," Boundless Taoist whispered. He did not like the sage-like Master Guan Yuan at all. Lin Feng did not like Master Guan Yuan. The Heavenly Master and Earthly Master clans had a long history of enmity. The Earthly Master clans would never let him off. Lin Feng knew that. The Earthly Master clans had been eyeing the Heavenly Master clan's legacy for who knew how many years. They would probably send experts to deal with him. Lin Feng did not have a good impression of Master Guan Yuan, who was from the Earthly Master clans. However, there was one thing that Lin Feng had to admire. Master Guan Yuan's image was just too good. No matter how he looked at Boundless Taoist, he looked like a fake Taoist. Moreover, he looked like a fake Taoist who sold his skills in the pugilistic world and cheated others. The sage-like Master Guan Yuan, on the other hand, looked more like a Taoist expert. Lin Feng saw Boundless Taoist's description of Master Guan Yuan as Boundless Taoist's envy. "Taoist, do you know the secret of this Tao platform?" a cultivator asked. Master Guan Yuan said, "This humble Taoist does not know. However, since we're all here, I think this Tao platform might change. Perhaps some changes will happen." As soon as Master Guan Yuan finished speaking, a loud rumbling sound could be heard. The Tao platform shook violently. The runes on the Tao platform seemed to have come to life. The runes started to distort violently. Heavens! Taoist, you really have godlike foresight! Many people could not help but exclaim. They were full of admiration for Master Guangyuan. Boundless Tao venerate! Master Guangyuan pretended to be an expert. He chanted a Taoist name and waved his horse a whisk. At this moment, no one paid any attention to Master Guangyuan. Therefore, Master Guangyuan's image of an expert was in vain. Everyone's eyes were focused on the Tao platform. They did not know what would happen to it. Look, the Taiji dividing line in the middle seems to be awakening. Someone pointed at the Taiji dividing line on the Tao platform. The Taiji dividing line looked like a sleeping dragon. And now, the sleeping dragon was awakening. Boom! A terrifying wave of energy swept through the world, shaking the void. It shocked and moved everyone. Roar! A loud dragon roar could be heard. The Taiji dividing line actually turned into the shape of a small dragon. Then, it let out a dragon roar. Crack! Crack! Next, with the Taiji dividing line as the center, the Tao platform gradually split into two sides. Seeing this, the eyes of many cultivators couldn't help but light up. As everyone waited in anticipation, the Tao platform completely split apart. Then, a coffin rose from the Tao platform. It was a green coffin. It was made of the same material as the Tao platform. It was also densely covered with all kinds of runes. Those runes were all innate dragon runes. They were mysterious and unfathomable. Master Guangyuan did not know what those innate dragon runes meant. He could only confirm that they were innate dragon runes because he had seen them in the sacred tower of the Geomaster branch. However, there were only 5 or 6 innate dragon runes in the sacred tower of the Geomaster branch. However, the Tao platform and the green coffin were densely covered with innate dragon runes. It was unknown how many there were. Chapter 29:10. Ancestral dragons were the first dragons to be born in the world. Ancestral dragons were also sentient lifeforms. They were born from heaven and earth, but it was said that they developed real flesh and blood. This was very similar to the Great Sage, Heaven's Equal, and the Sacred Battle Ape. The Great Sage, Heaven's Equal, and the Sacred Battle Ape were originally from the Stone Tribe, but they developed flesh and blood and eventually became flesh and blood. Even in the era when sentient lifeforms ruled the heavens, ancestral dragons were peerless and invincible. The progenitor dragon had once awed the myriad worlds. Rumor had it that a progenitor dragon had gone to the wasteland, and even there, he had become an overlord. From this, one could see how terrifying the progenitor dragon was. Now that the green stone coffin had appeared, everyone could not help but imagine. Many people were already tempted to open the stone coffin and see if it was really an ancestral dragon inside. However, the void around the platform was still distorting and emitting shocking waves. Therefore, those cultivators who wanted to make a move did not, but waited for the right time. What do you think? Lin Feng looked at Wu Liang Taoist. This guy was a professional tomb raider. God knows how many tombs he had raided over the years. However, Lin Feng found that Wu Liang Taoist was very quiet, which was not in line with his usual style. Anything can appear in such a green stone coffin, Wu Liang Taoist said meaningfully. Lin Feng could not help but frown. What was this damned Taoist trying to say? He was actually speaking in riddles. 2 hours later, the void around the platform finally calmed down. I'll go see what's inside, a cultivator said and then stepped out. Someone recognized the identity of this cultivator. He had an extraordinary background. He was a cultivator from the Sacred God tribe. If it were anyone else who walked up the platform so ostentatiously, they would probably be surrounded and attacked by many. However, the Sacred God tribe was the #1 tribe among thousands of races. Who dared to offend them? This person is called Xing Yuanquan. He's an expert of the Yuan generation in the Sacred God tribe. He has cultivated for 720,000 years and is now in the Boundary Emperor realm. He has already reached the 85th stone step, a cultivator said. He had some understanding of this sacred god tribe cultivator, and then explained his situation. The cultivators of the sacred god clan had extraordinary talents. Since Xing Yuanquan had reached the 85th step, he was definitely an abnormally terrifying existence. They were many times stronger than cultivators of the same level from other races. Xing Yuanquan walked step by step towards the platform. He stepped onto the platform and came to the cyan sarcophagus. "Get ready!" Taoist Wu Liang said softly. He was already rubbing his palms together. There were many cultivators who had the same idea as Taoist Wu Liang. Let Xing Yuanquan open the sarcophagus first. It wouldn't be too late to make a move then. Perhaps Xing Yuanquan was aware of the thoughts of many cultivators below. He couldn't help but sneer with contempt at the corner of his mouth. Since Xing Yuanquan dared to be the first one to step onto the platform and open the sarcophagus, he must have a way to deal with any unexpected situation. An expert at Xing Yuanquan's level was naturally a scheming person. He wouldn't do anything rashly. There were stone nails on the stone coffin. There were 81 stone nails in total. Xing Yuanquan removed all 81 stone nails and grabbed the lid of the coffin with both hands. He wanted to open the lid of the cyan sarcophagus. Although the lid of the coffin wasn't big, it was extremely heavy. Kacha! Kacha! Intense friction sounded. The lid of the coffin was gradually pushed open by Xing Yuanquan. Buzz! At this moment, a stream of dragon qi escaped from the coffin. That stream of dragon qi was very terrifying. It directly shattered the void and suppressed towards Xing Yuanquan. Break! Xing Yuanquan's expression was cold as he swung his fist towards that stream of dragon qi. He was so powerful that he naturally didn't care about a mere stream of dragon qi. Bam! Xing Yuanquan's tyrannical fist swept across the dragon qi. Something shocking happened. Xing Yuanquan's arm directly exploded. His entire body was swept away by the dragon qi. Oh my god, the power of that dragon qi is so terrifying! Many people couldn't help but exclaim. They couldn't believe their eyes. Xing Yuanquan's cultivation was so strong, but he couldn't block the attack of dragon qi. It was truly inconceivable. Even Lin Feng was astonished. Just how strong was that dragon qi to be able to destroy Xing Yuanquan's arm with a single strike? My arm! Xing Yuanquan cried out. The destruction of his arm was a huge blow to him. However, the dragon qi didn't dissipate. Instead, it continued to suppress Xing Yuanquan. Seeing this, Lin Feng couldn't help but raise his eyebrows slightly. The dragon qi was too terrifying. If Xing Yuanquan didn't have any powerful means, he might have died under the attack of this dragon qi. Xing Yuanquan won't die, right? Some cultivators asked. They looked nervously at the dragon qi and Xing Yuanquan. Swish! Xing Yuanquan waved his right hand, and a powerful magic treasure flew out. It was a defensive magic treasure, the 5 Elements shield. Images of the 5 Elements sacred beasts were drawn on it. This was a defensive magic treasure that was close to an emperor weapon. It could evolve into an emperor weapon in the future. It was extremely powerful. Bam! The dragon qi swept across the magic treasure. Accompanied by a dull sound of impact, the magic treasure was directly sent flying. Moreover, the magic treasure's light became extremely dim. It was obvious that it had suffered heavy injuries. It would be difficult to use it again in a short period of time. The dragon qi was too powerful. It was so powerful that everyone present was shocked. Xing Yuanquan turned around and flew out. He wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. However, the dragon qi caught up to Xing Yuanquan and suppressed him. No! Xing Yuanquan cried out in horror. In the next moment, the dragon qi swept across Xing Yuanquan's body. Xing Yuanquan's physical body exploded. His soul shattered, and his body and soul were destroyed on the spot. This is too terrifying! Everyone looked at the scene in shock. A powerful cultivator like Xing Yuanquan was killed just like that. He didn't even have the ability to resist. That was just a stream of dragon qi. How could a mere strand of dragon chi have such terrifying power? This was too inconceivable. After killing Xing Yuankuan, the dragon chi dissipated between heaven and earth. It didn't attack the surrounding cultivators. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. After Xing Yuankuan's death, no one dared to open the cyan sarcophagus for a long time. "I'll give it a try," Lin Feng said. He walked toward the cyan sarcophagus. Lin Feng didn't want to wait any longer. He felt that there was definitely something extraordinary in the cyan sarcophagus. Therefore, Lin Feng chose to make a move. If he really obtained the treasure, he might be surrounded. So what? At most, he would have to fight a bloody battle. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.